Hello, and welcome along to another episode of FKB Full Kit Banter. And for all of you who have been DMing me non-stop, asking me, Pascal, where's the latest episode of FKB? You know, my life feels incomplete without it. Well, here you are. And for those of you listening on Spotify, well, you're missing out a little bit because we're actually in a different setting today. And we are so lucky that Nothing Fancy SG has so kindly lent us the space. And so often, Nate, who is the voice of reason on this podcast, is actually putting on his producer hat today.
I'm still here.
Yeah, but he's putting on, he's coming at us in a different capacity today. Thrilled to be hosting this episode in a different setting. I'm joined today by Arsenal correspondent BK, Chelsea correspondent Sash, and of course, Man City correspondent Lionel.
That's
and
right, man.
with the season being over, you might be thinking, guys, what is there to talk about? You know, and I'll be the first one to say there's a lot to talk about. And we do like our special episodes, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We're going to be talking about our frauds of the season, which we've teased a little bit. And the boys have done their homework. At least I think most of us have. As you can see by the laptop.
The laptop's
For
all
those
legit.
watching on
Yeah,
YouTube.
legit.
But yeah, the rules are like, for those of y'all who have seen our like team of the seasons and all that stuff, we go with the 4-3-3. We have our managers, of course. We go with one defensive midfielder, your left and right winger, and your striker. But of course, I'm probably gonna like break a few rules in that respect. But I mean, without further ado, like, shall we just dive into things?
Sure.
Yeah, man.
Sure.
Yeah, let's dive into things.
We're going to skip past the whole F1 thing first.
Dude, we're strapped for time this week. Like, we don't have like the luxury of going
Because for
over.
the season tend to be a bigger component. So yeah, we're gonna adjust it as accordingly. So we're gonna.
But I mean, if you want to like get on the F1 topic, right? I mean, Ferrari were pretty fraudulent this past weekend. So just throwing it out
was a crazy accident, but like, thank God nothing happened.
Get well soon.
Yeah, get well soon, man, Joe.
Shout out, go on YouTube. That was nasty, but
that was nasty.
enough about the F1.
Yeah. Let's go
Jump straight into it.
We started off with strikers last time. I wasn't on the team of the season so far, and there's a reason why we went 4 hours in the episode. I'm gonna be here today to make sure we don't go too over, but we're gonna be starting with goalkeepers this time.
Yeah.
And I don't know about y'all, but
Let's all get our list
goalkeeper
out.
was actually one of the tougher positions for me to pick out because I kind of noticed that there were no keepers in particular that were that poor. I don't know, maybe one of you guys has a name in mind, but
Before we start, I think we have to go over the rules. What constitutes a fraud
Right.
in this team?
There are fraudifications.
thank you, producer.
Fraudifications. Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna read the words that Sash wrote.
Let's go.
It says fraudifications for a FOTS nominee, players who have not managed to perform up to expectations based on the hype gathered during preseason. So, I mean, I bet some of you guys are already thinking of certain names.
We measured this
they've
throughout the
come
whole
with
season.
a lot of fanfare, but it's kind of fizzled out spectacularly. Naturally, we're gonna, I guess, pick on the more recent signings, especially those that came in with big price tags, because you know on FKB, we love talking about players with big price tags. And of course, not to forget other players who have come in, maybe been given a season and a half to bed in, but now they're like fully like exposed.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I'll
bit
defend my
sus.
boy Jack.
Yeah.
I'll defend him well.
All right, so
But yeah, apart from that, like I said, 4-3-3, you got the DM, you got your managers at the end. So yeah, let's start goalkeepers, man. BK, who do you have?
I kind of always forget his name.
Brilliant. We're off to a
he's-
great start.
The Leeds United goalkeeper.
Oh, Melier.
Yeah, Melier. Yeah, I can't pronounce it right.
you got
Melier. I mean, I don't fault like Leeds United's performance throughout, or completely Melier's fault, but there were definitely a couple of hiccups as his errors. But I mean, we all kind of know this and we kind of agreed on it that we're not gonna pick on like the relegation teams. I mean, unless they were
When
really.
did we say that?
I mean,
Well,
if they were fraudulent enough, you know, definitely. But
Sure.
Melier was kind of like on my list. Leeds were like 6.
I think you can put anyone in the Leeds defense.
Yeah,
But
this
they
is
barely,
so-
they barely survived.
So definitely Melier was on my list. It just wasn't the hype. I think he performed way better last season as compared to
Yeah,
this
definitely.
season. So that's why he was on my list.
Okay.
I didn't see like Burnley, Nick Pope, or like Norwich's goalkeeper was
Tim Krul.
I mean, Krul had his moments, but
Krul
like,
was bad, man. Like
Krul was bad.
from his
Like,
standards.
I totally get what you mean.
Yeah.
Like completely get what you mean from his
Mm.
standards. Even as a Dutch keeper doing the penalty saves and all that for the World Cup.
But that was like
yeah, I know from
a
that
decade ago.
yeah, from the decade, bro.
Was it a
It's
decade
like-
ago?
Close
was it
to
a
it,
decade?
close to a
No,
decade.
No
right?
way.
Yeah,
Was
that
it
was a
decade?
decade
Oh,
ago.
all right. Yeah, so it has dips from so much, but
Mhm.
granted his age and all, like Melia Young, that Leeds keeper that we had last season compared to this season is completely far apart.
I mean, some of them kind of hyped Melee out to be the next Hugo Lloris.
Yeah.
Didn't really
But
look
going
like
by
it.
Hugo's current standards, I don't know if that's really that big of a
I
compliment.
mean, I'm not Hugo's biggest fan,
Yeah.
but he's sort of stabilized himself as
Do you
an
think he could have made it
alright
on this
keeper.
list?
Hugo? Nah,
For this
I think
season?
there were worse keepers than him, which is why I think Hugo kind of just misses out on being placed on the list. Because I think my nomination would be Daniel Bachmann from Watford. Because he started off as
He didn't even
fresh
make it.
outlets.
He didn't even make it to the
Didn't
end
even
of
make
the
it to the
season.
end.
Yeah, it was
Exactly.
bad.
Like
Yeah.
he was Watford's number one, and then he got usurped by Ben Foster, who's like 89 years old.
Imagine getting
Yes.
replaced by the guy you were supposed
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
Grandpa,
Yeah,
yeah.
but shout out to the Forecast.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Forecast.
Yeah, I mean,
Terrible, man. Like I was pretty. He's pretty sus. Like the one time I took notice of him was pretty much early in the season where Son took a free kick from like way out. I know Son's a great finisher.
Yeah.
But he has no right to score from there because it was alright, fine. If there was a deflection, I will be okay, fine. Daniel Bachmann got wrong footed, but he just let the ball just go past him. I think he kind of misjudged the flight. And that was when like my fraud radar was like in on him already. I'm like, yo, this guy is just not it, man. Yeah, if Watford are gonna survive, he needs to be dropped.
yeah.
Which he was lah.
Which he was,
Yeah,
but
eventually he was.
they still got what
Yeah,
relegated.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna chime in here. Actually, I'm with BK also lah. So
Yeah, there we go,
it's-
there we
it's
go.
Melee, I have the stat right over here lah. So actually, fun fact, right? He concedes like an average of 2.07 goals per game.
So
So it's like every game that he plays, he will at least let in 2 goals.
my issue was that because I don't know whether it was the defender's fault. Like, I mean, Leeds had
Yeah,
a
they have
horrible
horrible
season.
defense, yeah.
Like,
It's
as
the whole
compared-
system. The whole system
Yeah.
isn't
As
designed
compared
to
to
defend.
last season and this season, right, it's like just fraudulent and it's really day and night. And then like I didn't know whether to fault Melia, but like if I had to pick a keeper out, Melia was like my first choice.
okay, but to be fair, the reason why Leeds was so shaky at the back was because they had quite a few key players out, like your Bamfords, your Calvin Phillips, who was that shield in front of the defense.
Yeah.
And Bielsa, who was the manager at the point of time before he got sacked,
Yeah,
he wanted to keep employing the same tactics. He has a philosophy, and credit to him, he sticks to it. But Leeds, they are not a team that is really players wise. They don't really have that strength in depth. So when Bielsa persisted to play the exact same way he did, but with far inferior players, that's just like a whole
It wrecked
it's
the
like a
whole-
whole deck of cards just falling,
Yeah.
and it's just not gonna work. So
All right, fair.
Yeah, that's very fair lah.
Mhm.
Fair. I mean, I completely understand. I mean, Leeds were where they are at the end of season. I mean,
17.
Yeah, I mean, it
barely
is
scripted, but
barely scripted.
Hanging
I
on
wanted
by
them
a
to go
thread.
down, man. I wanted them
Yeah,
to go
man.
down, but
Yeah, I did want them to go down.
Is it
Yeah.
cause of like a rivalry with Chelsea, or just because you saw
No,
more
because
opportunity?
they sacked
to,
Bielsa,
okay.
so like there's no reason why I wanted them like in the Premier League
Sure.
over my beloved Burnley, but
Yeah.
But then they
Con-
got Ted Lasso in, dude. It's about the American dollars now, man. I mean, I like those two picks. Like I said, goalkeeper was a bit more challenging, but I'm going with someone a bit more high profile. And I mean, it's no surprise that I'm going with the arch nemesis, like in Chi Jordan Pickford. I just don't think he's like, apart from that one game, ironically against Chelsea. I'm sure you know the one. I don't think he's been that good, man. I think he's been bang average for the longest time.
I would have put Pickford in the list, but I had all along put him as bang average. Is he even England's number one?
He still
now?
is,
he
but,
still is,
but I don't know how much that means anymore.
No,
Like,
because it scratched my head a lot. Because I remember during the England selection that time, I remember there was a period of time where Ramsdale was below him, and I was like, and that was like Ramsdale hot streak, and I was like, how is this guy like and Everton was down, Arsenal was up, and I was like, how is this guy above Ramsdale at that point in time? But at the same time, I was like thinking to myself, like, was it just a team, or was it individual effort kind of thing?
He's Southgate's boy, man.
No, but he's quite decent.
He's
England.
good.
He's
for
really good in England.
He's good for
yeah.
England.
Yeah, but you guys will
It's
slide
like-
him
it's
later
like
on the list
Maguire.
that performing for England doesn't mean jack shit sometimes in the Premier League. You guys will see that later.
No, but I'll say that when Lampard took over, right?
Yeah.
Like, I felt that Pickford made quite a number of like very
I
impactful saves.
agree. He had a couple of really good
So I think to
games,
crucify
but
him like that, you know.
I think he's a shot stopper,
Yeah.
but I don't know whether he's a full on.
yeah,
Like De Gea's first season, he was a very good shot stopper. But like there were like goals that he let in because the recovery,
Because he wasn't physical enough.
the
but-
recovery from the shot stop wasn't good enough. Yeah, I
But
completely agree.
are you gonna like blame it on his short arms? Like,
I don't know, man.
does Pickford really have short arms for a keeper?
I don't know.
he might not, but it looks kind of short. But
I mean, honestly, he looks like another.
I mean,
J-
if you're gonna compare it to Mendy's wingspan, it's definitely like short.
he
But-
just looks like another Jay Spearing to me.
I mean, it's quite ironic
Oh.
that we're calling
That's
him
criminal,
short
man.
arms when we are like our arms are.
but
not
he's a
that-
goalkeeper. We're not. You know, like.
he's paid like 100
But
grand a
okay,
week.
anyway, I'm gonna be the bad guy. For goalkeepers, who are we agreeing on? We got two for Meslier, so I mean, if we
Well,
want
you
to
guys
go,
are okay to settle for Media. That's the question.
I mean-
I'm okay with Pickford.
I
but
actually prefer
stand
Bachmann
more.
as a choice than
Yeah,
Meslier.
because
The story
Meslier-
is just a
Meslier
funnier
at least,
story,
even though he made mistakes, like he still was their number one,
and he
like,
was
didn't get
honestly
dropped.
one of their better players.
Yeah.
Which is
So
like
in a-
ridiculous to say.
Exactly, but Bachmann is just he's just
I
not
mean,
it, man.
the honest fact is that Watford did go down. So
Didn't he get sold? Or wasn't like
No,
United
he's still there.
in for him as the second keeper?
Hell
Oh,
no,
oh, it was
really?
Bachmann, right?
It was Bachmann, yeah.
no, really.
News brought by our friendly neighborhood tap-in merchant,
Tap-in merchant,
Fabrizio Romano.
Yeah, Nate, wait, have you heard those rumors?
No.
No?
I haven't, yeah.
I read it once that
Yeah.
United
Wait,
were
wait,
looking
you
at
wanna
him
get
as
him
a,
at the
as a
start?
backup keeper.
At the start of last season or
No,
No,
just
like
like
now,
a week
now.
ago,
now.
yeah.
Oh shit!
Are you sure? Like, I don't think we need more keepers. We
Yeah,
need
no,
more-
I thought
Yeah,
you did.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
United's okay,
Didn't you guys
exactly.
loan out Henderson? Like, who else do you have now?
Henderson just got a loan to Forest.
Forest,
Mm.
right? Yeah.
We
so it's
still
just
have
the
Heaton.
Wait, so he downgraded
Heaton.
like
Heaton's still there?
Heaton's
Oh,
still
damn.
there
Okay.
from what I know.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
Grant's out, so we're
Yeah,
at
Grant's
two
out.
goalkeepers for now. Yeah.
I'm cool with Bachmann. Like, if it's 2-2, then we're just gonna have to leave this one up to a
like-
fan vote.
Yeah.
Wait, you didn't get my vote.
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Oh, man.
I am
That's
so
right.
sorry.
The producer out.
Producer is gonna kick me
Sorry,
out,
sorry.
guys. He's gonna
It's
make
the
my
tiebreaker.
Oh,
mind
yes,
go.
yes, yes.
This is perfect
No,
because
he's
we have
finding out
people we
about-
can't get to.
What's Nate going for then? What's Nate going for?
Okay. I didn't really have a choice. I was just listening to the debate, and I think I'll go with Bachmann.
Ah,
Mm.
come
Yes.
on, man.
Yeah.
It's just a funnier story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just a funnier story, man.
It's just great to see him
Getting
on the
replaced by
team.
YouTuber.
Noise. Okay, so we have Bachmann in as a goalkeeper.
Alright,
Yeah.
alright,
Yeah,
alright,
who's,
right.
who's taking notes?
I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
alright.
okay.
Nate will do it.
Nate,
Are you sure you want to do like triple
Triple
duty?
duties, man.
It's cool. I can put it down.
All right. We proceed to centre backs or
Let's
back
do
then?
fullbacks. Let's
Fullbacks?
do fullbacks.
Right back.
You wanna do it right or left?
Right first, get it out of the way. Yeah, let's go right back, man. Let me hear why or who your nominee is.
Me first?
Yeah,
Sure,
let's
like,
go. Let's
start-
go.
yeah,
I
since
think
you
it has to
started
be.
this side.
It has to be Emerson Royale.
Yeah. You had me in the first half. You had me in
It's
the
like-
first half.
I assume we had this like.
No, he says the exact same way the last season for Fraudifications. It's like it has to be Emerson Royale.
But wait, was Royale even there last season?
Yeah,
He was?
No,
he was.
Wasn't?
Spurs-
did
Spurs
Nuno-
just bought
Nuno
him.
just signed him, right?
He was
Oh.
he was a Nuno
Yeah.
signing.
This
This
was
is-
the
this
thinking
is
whether it's
literally
a
the-
I think it was
half
Doherty last year.
Was it?
Yeah,
it was a Spurs
yes,
right
Spurs
back.
again.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with my, hate for Spurs, but there's nothing royal
Nah.
about him, man. It's like he plays like a peasant.
He's
man.
bad, bro.
No,
No, he was-
you know
he was
where was
signing-
this? This was the first few podcasts, like when Arsenal won Spurs or something, and then or like Spurs got trashed so badly, and then
Uh-huh.
you said the exact same thing. Yeah, no, I got Nate on this, and then like you were like Emerson Royale is like a fraudulent. or something.
People forget this guy signed for Barcelona for like a month.
No, there's something about Barcelona and their sloppy seconds of fullbacks, man. Like which is
Semedo, wait, maybe
foresh-
last year was
foreshadowing.
Semedo.
Was it?
Yeah, Semedo was quite. up
Semedo
there.
creeped in
Semedo
one of
was
our lists.
Bad, but he has improved a lot. Like from
Fair
like,
enough,
from-
fair
yeah.
enough.
So Back to my nominee, Emerson Royale. Just if you're getting dropped for Dorothy, you're just done. Your career is just done at the Premier League. So, do you guys want to add on to that point, or is it like a unanimous decision that
Do you
Royale
think
gets it?
Emerson picked up towards the
No.
end of the season?
No.
Not even a
The
little
reason
bit
why Emerson was in
because of
like-
injuries.
Yeah, because Dorothy was injured. And he didn't really he was alright, but in a Spurs team under Conte, right? Because there's so much emphasis on the wingbacks, you can't have like an anchor. And sadly to say, Emerson Royale is an anchor. And with if I'm going to point out Emerson Royale as the worst performer in Spurs, with players like Eric Dyer in your side, then that's just
Or
kind of
like
saying it all.
Harry Winks, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Lionel?
Actually, I didn't have a right back.
Hey,
But
same,
maybe
same,
I'll
same.
go with
Right back was a bit of a
Yeah.
problem
Yeah,
area for me.
right back was a
but
big-
maybe I'll
was
go
a
with a
huge-
left back. Danny Rose. No. To be honest, right? Like first couple of games when I watched Danny Rose play, right?
Liverpool, right?
Yeah, dude, he got destroyed by Salah, man.
He looked overweight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember Pascal pointed
We
out
had an
that,
episode, yeah.
yeah, like he looked not to fat shame, but he really looked chunky
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a Premier
yeah.
League player. That's just
Danny Rose was on my list for left
Yeah.
back, but I
Oh.
had another left back on my list.
I had one too.
Oh, you
I got loads of left backs.
unanimously agreeing that
Royale
Yeah,
was on my
Royale,
list as well.
no, Royale was not on my list. I had the same issue, so I had two left backs. Danny
Yeah.
Rose was one of my left backs, and my other left back
I
was
Was it an Arsenal guy?
If Rose,
No, no.
if Rose,
you was there too.
if Rose sucks playing at his original position and you shift in the right back, it's just gonna
It's
be
just
a
the same.
no,
basket
so
case.
my other left back was Junior Firpo.
Yes,
Right.
yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
said there's something about
I also
Barcelona
got destroyed
fullbacks.
by Salah like early in the season.
So I had Firpo
Yeah.
and Danny Rose on my list for left and left back, but like
Mm.
right back I generically don't have
Yeah.
anyone. Like I couldn't find a huge issue on the left back issue, right back issue, but like
But are there any other?
right backs for you guys?
Do you guys remember watching like any?
I mean,
Fraudulent
Cedric's
right back.
pretty bad.
I mean Cedric,
But
has always been-
Cedric's only been playing when he's
Cedric was a free transfer, so if you're gonna
Yeah.
base it on
That's my
transfer
that,
fees,
yeah,
and
that's
he
what
came in
yeah.
like last season.
Okay,
and-
okay.
yeah. So
Nate's not gonna like this, but AWB man, it's been pretty
No,
sketch.
right.
yeah.
He should be in the conversation.
like
I put him there myself.
so AWB is. Wait,
He got
I'm
dropped
not
for-
gonna like this. So a couple of days ago, I just saw a Manchester United or AWB training video.
Mhm.
He was doing like the caption was like training before preseason, and it was like AWB doing training sessions and all that. And then like I went to read the comments, and it was like, "Oh, you guys should like train him how to cross."
Oh,
It's like-
Oh.
and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!"
Okay, but to sort of stand up for Wan-Bissaka, right? I kind of feel that I think I did mention it before. I feel that he's a fullback that was kind of born in the wrong era, where he's good defensively, but with the modern game right now, you need to be good at both the attacking and defensive aspects of the game. So imagine if you put him, he's like Gary Neville, basically.
Yeah.
Like right now,
That
if you were to
defensive-
put Wan-Bissaka in, when Ferguson was around and he was building teams where they were playing 4-4-2 with wingers, then you wouldn't see Wan-Bissaka's lack of attacking prowess.
Neville and
like-
Carragher will be playing in the championship, dude. Like-
Fair point. But yeah, it's kind of a shame though. He was performing well at Palace because he didn't really need to attack because
Yeah.
they're a counter-attacking side. But it shows when you make the step up to like a big team and the onus is on you to create like attacking openings. Yeah, he's just not it. And to get usurped by Dalot, it's
yeah. It's
Yeah.
they wanted to sell him, right? And then like,
AWB.
Rangnick, no,
Dalot.
Dalot. He was a Mourinho buy, if I'm not wrong.
yeah, way
Yeah,
back.
Mourinho bought him,
yeah.
right? Yeah, he was benched for Wan-Bissaka, and Rangnick said that I need more. I need someone smarter
Yeah.
in attacking sense as a right back. So
Was he?
Wan-Bissaka had to be the scapegoat.
Hmm. Was he-
Dalot strikes me like Dalot isn't
No, that was just
much of
fast.
an upgrade.
He's just fast.
like to
Not,
Wan-Bissaka.
not
but,
even justifiably like fast enough.
like
yeah, I
to
mean,
be, to be
I mean,
known for pace.
the
he's
thing is that-
slightly faster
Yeah.
than
Dalot,
Wan-Bissaka.
Dalot looks good in the on the eye, but his attacking output is the same as Wan-Bissaka's. It's just negligible. He's just not that good. But he just looks better on the eye, like in terms of an eye test.
Yeah.
Both are fraudulent, so
Damn, man.
yeah.
So right back.
Sasha's
Wow.
I ripped apart like the whole United.
This is the podcast where we talk about hard hitting home truths. Man.
for sure.
That's true.
We don't. We go for hot takes. We don't go for lukewarm
He was in
ones.
the like I agree. I think Wan-Bissaka is in the conversation, but I still think Emerson Royale
like-
just edges it.
Royale, yeah. I mean,
Just
he's
about
a
edges
Spurs
it.
player.
Yeah.
So
He
I
wasn't
Yeah.
cheap, man. He was
Like 30 million or
Yeah.
something.
No, he was 30 mil.
He was 30
Yeah,
million.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
He was riding that Barcelona, wave of like I'm from Barcelona. I'm
Yeah, but
Brazilian,
like 30,
I'm
30
supposed to
mil
be
is
good.
like batshit crazy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, Lionel and I are on the same boat.
Yeah, definitely.
Once again, like we have more left backs than
Yeah.
right backs.
I mean, for Poe's another great choice, but I think
for the right back position,
I think right back
Emerson Royale.
unanimously is
It has to
Emerson
be.
Royale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Left back for Poe is definitely a
Well,
shout
is
for
it
me.
Fopo or Danny Rose, man?
Come on,
Rose
man.
there too, but I want to shout out Nuno Tavares, man, because he's been
No.
he's pretty sketch as well.
So Nuno Tavares has been on that list for me as well. Like I honestly did want to throw an Arsenal player in.
but he's
and-
a
but to
reserve
be
lah.
fair,
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
reserve.
He hasn't developed to that first team place, and like I mean, no doubt Danny Rose has been Watford, like like first choice left back or however. So, but Firpo as well for Leeds.
They shelled out like pretty penny for him, man. I think
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
little
I-
bit under 20 million.
Sash was shitting on Firpo as well for the first half of the season.
It's horrible, dude.
First
Dude,
good half of the season.
I saw
at least.
Firpo play for 10 minutes and I knew everything I needed to know about him. Like, dude's not even facing like his opponent like when he's defending. You know, when you jockey or like, you're jockeying, like
Yeah.
you're pulling them on their like weaker foot, right?
Yeah.
Dude doesn't know like what opponent, like what foot the opponent's gonna like shoot with or like cross with. Like, he just doesn't do his homework. I don't know. I just think I'll be shocked if he's still playing for
But
Leeds
but
next
you guys
season.
on like Firpo and
Royale,
like-
yeah. There's a
Yeah.
team. There's a,
Royal
that's the
for
stuff
right
of
back,
dreams.
Royal for right back, and then for the left back.
I mean, Rose has been like, I don't know why I did. Danny Rose didn't really come across my mind
But
until
Rose-
you guys.
Rose- no,
Yeah,
Rose
Rose
is
is bad.
horrible.
I know,
He's
I know,
horrible.
I know
I think
Rose is bad, but-
Rose is more damning when okay, he was never brilliant, but
Yeah,
he
he
was at a certain standard before.
Yes.
So
Yes.
to watch
Yeah.
him like that, like regress so
Dive-
much is also
dive
like
that deep
but-
in.
Yeah.
He's old.
Yeah, which is why I
He's old,
placed
which is
Firpo
why,
and
yeah.
Danny Rose. Like I was like, I would put Firpo on that list
Mm.
just cause like Danny Rose is old and he's on closer to the retirement age, that
Yeah.
kind of and kind of thing. But like
Mm.
Firpo came in with that price tag.
he was supposed to shore up their defense, dude.
I mean, like Danny Rose is free.
It's a free transfer.
Yeah,
transfer. So if I were to
Nah, like, the more I think about it, the more it's gonna be
Yeah,
Firpo.
it's
It's
gotta
gotta
be.
be
but
Firpo.
like then it comes down to like Nate. Do you have like? Are you going to throw Luke Shaw or Alex?
no lah.
Oh.
Like they've not been great, but they're certainly the worst
If
players.
only you could see my face right now.
Yeah. The viewer should like.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but we on for
Unanimously for
Firpo
Yeah.
and
and Royal.
Firpo and Royal.
We
I
have
think
nothing
we
against-
have
yeah.
bigger fish to fry lah.
yeah, we have bigger
Yeah.
departments.
We have
to
nothing
fry.
against Barcelona, but it just so happens that the two flops or the two frauds of the season at right back and left back, they're both.
But how much does that say
No,
about
no,
Barcelona?
it's
That's
probably
kind
in
of a
line.
good thing
It's-
for them, right?
It's in line with their fraudulent years because the couple of years like they've been super fraudulent and then
No, even now, dude. Like,
Yeah, I
if
mean,
we're gonna,
even
if we're
now,
gonna
so-
go on a tangent. Like Barcelona now, how are they affording players?
yeah, we'll get to
Are
that.
they supposed to be broke? They're like $1 billion.
No,
in
they're
debt.
Spotify. No cam
Okay.
for Spotify something.
Oh, the jersey just looks fake, man.
Yeah, I know,
It
it's
looks like
horrible.
something you
Yeah.
find in like I
Like
don't know,
Bangkok.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At the streets of
it's
Bangkok.
just bad. But
Yeah.
with that,
That's
Shall
our
we
left
move on
and-
to-
That's our left and right back.
Yes.
concept.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to centre backs?
Centre backs.
Okay, I'm gonna chime in here.
Yeah,
heavily,
okay,
man.
let's go.
You know what? You know what? Like, I tried my best, right, not to come up with so many like United players. But I tell you, the two centre backs
For
have
the
to take
record,
the
what
cake.
which United are we talking about?
It is Manchester United, man. I mean, honestly, right, like, how was it? Like, I think firstly, right, there was so much hype on the Varane train. Like, everyone was like, he's gonna be like Rudiger to Chelsea or like DS to City. And then he comes in for like 43 million. And then he does jack lah, honestly. Like,
He did.
he didn't really do much. Okay, whenever he played, right, he did make like United's defense better, but it's because their defense set the bar so low.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, so
Wow.
and the thing is, yeah, as in, I'm just gonna come out right smack here lah. And like, for you know, for him, right, it's like he's always injured. Like I think he's out for at least.
I know,
half of the season.
Sasha has a hot take on
to-
this. Sasha has a
I
hot
said
take
that
on this.
he was like
Yeah.
I mean I don't want to like offend any feminists out there, but I did compare him to Menses
Right.
because it's like he's always on for like 1 week and
But
then he's gone
Mensah,
for like
that's like a once a month thing. Like Varane is like pretty much gone. Like I don't know. I don't know how many games do you even play. Like
Yeah, I think
13 appearance. I don't know.
Yeah, it's very-
Yeah.
I'm not sure the exact numbers, but it's like at least not even half of the season.
And I think the most
Definitely.
disappointing thing is like when I saw United get Varane, like, okay, we knew that he wasn't the Varane that, like, you know, led Real Madrid to so many UCLs.
Yeah.
There
But
were
was it him who was leading or was it Ramos who was
No,
leading?
no,
like,
no.
I think they complemented each other very well. Like
So the fraudulence ran in the tube.
I felt that Ramos kind of
Elevated
was
his game,
holding Varane's hand. It was kind of how Pogba looks good in the France midfield because he has Kante holding his hand.
Ooh.
I don't know about that. I feel sometimes it's the reverse. I feel sometimes Ramos is like too aggro in a sense. He needs the calming presence of Varane. Like, I just felt like they complemented each other so well.
I just feel like this question should be pivoted to Nathan
Yes,
because
so
he was so hyped about Varane coming in at the start of the season. I remember this like, yeah, we got Varane.
Champions League
Yeah,
Varane, man.
yeah.
Champions,
This has
Champions
to be
League winner.
like sent to Nathan for this like.
I think in terms of just the hype, this has to be a big flop.
Oh, dude,
Maybe not
wait,
performances wise.
First of all, does the four of us has Varane on your list?
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
definitely.
I do have Varane on my list.
you need me for?
No, I don't know if you want to defend like Lionel's really defend Grealish. If it's on
Could you
have
like
your,
try
like-
to explain what
Yeah,
you,
like
what do you think
your-
went wrong?
Or you can just start off with your Varane eulogy.
I think I would defend Varane if he tried to defend for United.
Oh.
But he wasn't there, so neither will I be for him.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Cheers to that.
It's just one of those things. I think when you manage to buy a centre back from a team like Real Madrid, you're hoping to be able to. And Varane was supposed to be one of the 3 big signings to put United in the title challenge, but we all know how that went. So yeah, no, he's firmly in for me as well.
But would you give him like the next season to kind of redeem himself, or do you think it's only gonna kind of get worse or continue to be like this?
I think he definitely he still has the age to have a few more years at United. It's just whether or not I think this upcoming season is the one that will really make it or break it for him. We will see his true colors. I would say, just like how we saw it with Maguire, which I'm surprised. I think we'll get into that soon. Maybe
Hold your horses. Hold your horses.
I mean,
Yeah, just
Lionel
get
has
to that,
put
man.
both foot in already. Like literally,
We'll
he
get
has
to
put
that,
both-
man. We'll get
The
to that.
two-footed tackle,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean, if he comes out like as one of the better defenders next season, then yeah, I think he still has the quality. I think he's just adapting to the English game, and I think he hasn't adapted very well so far. So-
Like, I'm curious to know then, like, now that we kind of all settled on Varane, right? So who's the other player on your list?
I mean,
I mean, yeah, exactly.
Like, come on, guys.
It goes without saying.
Wait.
Right.
Like, just to clarify, I can't remember this season's transfer, but Maguire came in this season,
No.
right?
No, he was.
He's been here like 3 years.
least-
already. I think
yeah,
this
at
was his
least
3rd
3.
season. Yeah.
in United.
Yeah.
But he's still the one that deserves the
Oh,
crown.
I feel I've been living in the past. or
They
the
signed
future.
him after the World Cup
Yeah,
in
no, after the
2018.
World Cup, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's been 3 seasons already, man. Going to be a 4th. In that time, he's going to be his 3rd manager,
So interestingly, right?
right? 3rd manager.
Maguire
Yeah, I
is
think so.
not on my list because I was talking to Sash
How is that
pre-recording.
possible?
No, so I was talking to
How is
Sash
that
pre-recording that it's like the you can't beat the dead horse kind of situation.
Like in order
Yeah,
to,
but
to-
this is
to
like
diversify
4th of
our-
the season.
yeah,
No. I completely agree.
I get where you're coming
agree
from.
that Maguire's on the
But-
this season.
But is
Maguire's
there any other centre back that kind of stooped down to Maguire's level?
I put Vestergaard under this.
Yeah, I actually had Vestergaard on my
But-
list as well.
He's
Yeah.
pretty fraudulent this particular season.
Also,
is,
he had to put up Soyuncu.
yeah, I mean
Yeah.
as
I
well.
mean,
yeah,
yeah,
so Soyuncu, Vestergaard, and Maguire were like straight up. Varane was on my list because of the transfer value, and I completely agree with that. But then came the other 3, right? Soyuncu and Vestergaard and Maguire. They have been in the Premier League for a while, so therefore, like I was thinking, like which one of the 3? Of course, Maguire would be the first pick because he came on 80
But
million.
I kind of feel like Maguire, although he is like he's someone that he's become more of a meme already in
Yeah,
terms of
that-
Premier League.
exactly
Yeah,
what-
yeah,
He
so
has,
I kind of wanna
he has
like,
transcended memedom
I
already.
kind of want to mix it up a bit.
Exactly.
That's why I gone for Soyuncu because he was great last season.
I mean, no doubt that we both chose a Leicester defender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great last season, and I kind of expected a lot from him. Like he had all the attributes of being a great defender. He had speed, he could pass. He was at that point of time pretty much defensively aware of his surroundings. But after Johnny Evans got injured, right? I wonder, how much did that affect Soyuncu because he looked lost.
They missed
his
Fofana
targets.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fofana as well. Yeah.
Soyuncu looked bad, man.
Yeah.
Actually,
He was
Soyuncu was
horrible.
supposed to step up. when
Yes,
Evans
yes,
got
yes.
injured,
I
but
was
he didn't.
expecting him to step
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
He rescinded so much.
Which is why,
Yeah.
in the Fraudifications nominees, like I
He
wanted to
fits
see
the bill.
more of Soyuncu, but he dropped the ball this season. Man.
Man, we're just gonna put like Maguire on like.
Should we save Maguire?
Like,
Are we
living
the
rent-
only-
Oh,
are
you
we the
can
only
save
fans that will
Maguire.
save
I don't want to
Maguire?
save Maguire.
living rent free.
FKB just like
We save.
doing
I mean,
like the.
Technically, we did.
reverse.
We shat on him for
because-
like a couple of episodes already. Yeah.
I do agree that Otto Maguire is the obvious choice.
It is
I
the-
kind of don't want to pick the obvious choice.
Yeah,
but
we had to freshen it up, man.
I mean, we could leave it to the listeners and like, but definitely like the unanimous decision between all of us have to be the other choice. So therefore, Maguire versus the other one.
I would actually like to know how like numbered. I wonder. I don't know if you have it like numbers wise. Just how poor has Soyuncu been? Like because I don't watch enough of Leicester to really
like,
see, but I do know he's regressed. But I don't quite know to the extent.
Like I think Leicester, right? They have conceded every. Oh wait, no. Let me phrase
Actually,
this
I have the
correctly.
numbers here.
You
They
have-
have,
oh, okay,
they
okay.
have conceded 58 goals, which is like the third highest.
They have the worst
Yeah.
record in defending set pieces. Like they can't defend a
Yeah.
set piece. I do remember that clearly because in Fantasy Premier League, I bought in Laporte when Man City played Leicester City.
He just destroyed him, right?
Yeah, and one of the reasons why I brought in Laporte was because I knew that they couldn't defend set pieces, and sure enough, Laporte did score a header. And I think Soyuncu was Soyuncu was the one who was marking him, right?
Yeah, Soyuncu.
Yeah, Soyuncu, and like now just that's a disappointment.
He,
throughout.
he looks like a lost sheep.
It started at the
Yeah.
Euros.
Yeah, it started at the Euro. Yeah, exactly. I
Mm.
think it's like very
Turkey,
reflective
right?
of
Turkey were
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
dark
yeah, yeah.
horses and they
So-
got like
so-
annihilated.
I'm on the Premier League app right now, and then we do a just based off PL measurement, right? Soyuncu has 28 appearances. Vestergaard has 10.
Mhm.
1 goal to Soyuncu, 0 to Vestergaard. Assist 0-0. Clean sheets, Soyuncu has 5. Vestergaard has 0. Yellow cards, Soyuncu has 5. Vestergaard has 2. We're gonna look at defending stuff, right?
I just think Soyuncu, from what was expected, similar to Varane, like he was supposed to be the guy who the defense was shaped around and built around, right? I think Soyuncu and Fofana, and I think you guys put it very well. Like he just dropped the ball. He was supposed to be the light for Leicester, and
Mhm.
yeah,
I think for someone who has been there for so long, right? He should have already elevated his game to that level that we expect.
wasn't he like being touted for like a move elsewhere?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Chelsea were interested.
Yeah.
I think
No.
Guardiola was
Yeah.
interested in him
Yes,
as well.
I know City was sniffing
Yeah.
around.
He was
No.
highly rated at the point of time,
Mm.
but he just really dropped the ball.
Alright,
This was
Yeah,
his
man.
season, man, to like kind of cement himself.
so we're gonna
in
put
the elite
Soyuncu on the
centre backs.
No Maguire.
So
is
Soyuncu
funny
V-
as hell.
Yeah.
Soyuncu. So Varane cement his place there, and then it'll be Maguire slash Soyuncu.
Okay.
Are we all agreeing
Yeah.
about?
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you gotta have Maguire in just as
Like okay,
For the
Soyuncu
for the
gets
culture.
injured, then Maguire will get
Yeah.
able deputy, will able to step in.
The top player of the
Yeah.
reserves. There.
yeah. We
Alright.
want some flexibility. Play
Mm.
5 at the back, But
Alright. So,
Alright.
so
If I may, like if we had to only put in one United defender,
yeah.
who would it be between the two?
Varane, definitely.
Varane.
We know Maguire is
Maguire is
bad,
just
but
fraudulent.
Varane
I
is
just
like-
expect more from Varane.
I mean,
Yeah,
Varane is,
and I didn't get any of
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, and he's only getting worse for France. Like,
Mm.
which is
Is he even in the front squad?
he still is, but
He still is.
that's just because Deschamps, like when he loves you or
He
when he
likes the
plays
old-
you,
yeah,
he
yeah,
keeps
it's
you
his
forever.
Also, it's like Tuchel.
A
Rudiger to Tuchel.
little bit.
Right.
So,
Oh.
but But with the abundance of talent France have at centre back, I think it's a matter of time
yeah.
before Varane gets canned. But yeah, let's move on to midfield.
So we gonna do for the midfield
3.
3 CMs?
Yep.
We'll start with
Yeah.
the defensive mids, like as usual.
We
the
can't
guys-
have-
any fraudulent defensive mid?
We can't have 3 CMs
very
by
tough.
DM. Let me see, man.
I don't mind if he's like a straight up cam or like DM. I don't think it doesn't really make a difference.
You guys
to
want
me.
to roll your 3 players straight and then we go from there or what? Because like my 3 players are okay. No, let's go DM first.
Yeah, let's go DM
I think,
first.
I think this is gonna be very spread out. I'm just gonna tell you that.
Who wants to go?
And I do have a lot of controversial picks.
Who wants to go for
Yeah.
DM?
Why not you take the lead?
No. He has to go to last because
Yeah.
he
Oh,
has the
okay,
most
okay.
controversial pick. He has to go to last.
okay.
Uh,
I
go
don't
for it.
really have one, but I'm willing to chip in my thoughts
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
on your nominees.
I don't know whether he's a DM. So on my list,
Uh-huh.
because I had to fit the three
Uh-huh.
players in, right? So
Uh-huh.
I put DM for me is Billy Gilmore.
He's not
Like,
DM
okay,
lah,
yeah.
but
He's a CM DM.
He
deep
wasn't
lying.
good, but then
deep
again,
lying.
he was in a really, really bad Norwich side.
Yeah, because I think for this FLOPP this season, he came in last season well.
Yeah.
But then
correct.
in this season for
like,
Norwich,
like I agree with like your train of thought because I think much was expected.
Yeah,
of,
he was
like,
very hyped
Yeah, he
for-
was being placed up on like a pedestal of okay, you show what you could do at Chelsea. Let's see what you can do at
Didn't he
Norwich
have a
with,
decent
like, the first
Euros?
team.
with
no, so the
Scotland?
first
Did he?
quarter,
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
quarter of the season, he was like hyped, and then all of a sudden he just faded out.
Yeah, I
So
do agree with
therefore-
your train of thought.
Yeah, therefore, like he was on my DM position.
Sure, we can
for
have him
the-
in.
Well, you guys have no DMs.
No, I do.
Oh.
The guy I went for is, this is gonna sound very anti-Everton, but I put Alan in.
I mean,
dude, he was good.
Nah,
thought he was good.
bro.
Yeah.
I-
I thought he was one of the better Everton players actually.
Alan dropped off a cliff, dude.
no, but he had like so much
he
injuries.
was like up there.
Yeah,
right?
he was up there.
Alan was so good during the Kazoo title race.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was the
And
Kanzu
then-
title race.
It's
Mm.
almost like him and Ducoré both decide. Ducoré maintain a bit of the attacking threat.
No,
but
the 3 of them, the 2 of them. were-
Alan was like so he almost like protected like Michael Keane and what's his face?
Mira.
no,
Who's the
Holgate.
other guy?
Holgate?
What, with the
Alright.
Everton defense, he made them look a lot better than they were. But when his form dipped, right, that's when you saw like the Everton sort of collapse. It doesn't help that Benitez sort of didn't really know how to use him.
Benitez.
Yeah. So agree
Yeah,
to
yeah.
disagree, but I liked Alan as a player. I was really annoyed when Everton actually
Yeah,
signed
yeah,
him.
yeah.
So to watch him kind of regress so much, and even a game against Liverpool, I think he had like 3 touches all game. When your team is
So it's
getting
like the
slapped,
Lukaku of DMs.
but the
Well,
thing is,
Like he had
Everton were getting
Uh-huh.
slapped up that game.
Okay,
Like the
okay.
possession was like 20-80, and
Mm.
if he's not dispossessing anyone, then what are you doing?
But
Like,
but Everton was quite shite during the whole season as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Nate, do you have
Good shout.
Yeah, I feel like we have to throw it to Nate every now and then,
Yeah.
like because he's like our icebreaker of sorts.
they're not McTominay.
Was it McTominay? Fred.
It can't be Fred. I think Fred was one of the
Fred,
most
Fred,
improved.
Fred was
Fred
improved.
was actually
Fred,
one
Fred
of the-
was one of the
Yeah.
better players.
Yeah.
Fred was improved.
I think the one for me, but he's not really a DM, right?
Yeah.
It's actually Van de Beek. I think like for the price and
Even at Everton,
I don't-
No, we're talking
I'm
about
surprised.
VDB, Everton or VDB United.
both. I don't think he
Both.
did
I think-
anything at
I think
Everton.
he had maybe one good game at Everton, and everyone thought like, "Oh, this is the VDB."
He scored
that-
once. Yeah, he
that
scored. No, he had
United
the
are
game against
missing.
Leeds. But
No,
then
but-
again, it was Leeds.
No,
so-
but then again, like he didn't have half the season to show for, so then
Okay.
you're measuring VDB for half a season.
Mm.
But there's a
That-
reason why he doesn't show. That's why.
I mean, we don't know. That's the thing. So now that he's going back to United next season,
No,
like-
I'm all for him to like succeed at United next season.
I
but
mean,
this
Yeah, we
season
want nothing for the
was-
best, but the best for.
I mean,
for
so this is my issue about VDB is like he technically had like half a season to not even show for, and then like, which is my other nominee on this list. Like, as the CM position would be Dele Alli for me.
Yeah.
And then like if I'm comparing Dele Alli to Van de Beek, you know, like I would put.
I mean, how is Van de Beek not getting into the Everton midfield? Like that.
No,
that midfield
that's
is
what.
So bad.
So I don't know
Like-
whether it's like contractual issues
Yeah.
or whatever thing. Like Ali is like
Mm.
way shittier than Van de Beek for me. Than
Ali is like literally still living
Dude,
off that
the-
goal
no, the
he scored
reason-
against
the-
Crystal
the-
Palace.
The reason why Ali has a career in football is because of Ericsson.
Mm.
Yeah, like
This is just time for United then.
I mean they were interested in him, right? Dele Ali, like
A long
Was-
time
wasn't
back.
Ferguson
under
interested?
Ferguson.
Yeah,
That's right.
Ferguson,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was
it
interested.
was. Ericsson gave him a career, and now he's finished.
This another player sort of coming out of left field. I don't even know what if he's classified as a defensive mid. It's like kind of box to box, but I'm sure you can tell. You can tell me what position he plays because I have no clue anymore. Saul, man.
Oh, no,
I mean, in terms of the price, it was a loan deal.
yeah,
but I
yeah.
think even you kind of when the news broke,
yeah,
you were a bit like,
I was
huh?
like, why?
Yeah, you were like,
Yeah.
huh?
So Saul came on my CM list. I put
Mhm.
DM as
Yeah.
Billy Gilmore.
Saul was a little bit like Alan in the sense where he
was-
used to be like
Yeah,
so
he
good,
used to
and
be
I
a
just
baller.
don't know what happened
Like
to him.
if Saul of maybe 4 or 5 years ago signed for
That would
Chelsea,
have
I'll
been
be like,
hype. Yeah, that would have
yeah.
been
I'm
hype.
like, yeah.
I think
like,
they gotta like groom him into that position.
yeah,
as
but
well.
now when like we signed him, I'm like, why?
Okay,
You
yeah.
don't need him. In theory,
Yeah,
you don't
like,
really
why?
And he
don't
played
need
him at like left back or
Wing-
like
yeah, like-
weird ass
it's just
positions. Yeah.
You know what I felt like Saul was when I watched him play, right? He was kind of like you trying to update your iPhone 7 to an iOS like 15. He's so slow. Like he's really slow. Like when he touches the ball, right? He's not even aware of like who is around him. And then next moment he's like,
yeah, his speed when it comes to making decisions
Yeah.
also like decrease.
He is though
rapidly.
like quite bloody.
I don't even think he's that old, bro.
No,
I'll
I
be,
thought
I'll
he
be
was like
shocked.
isn't he like late 20s?
I'd be
or something?
shocked if he's 30. Well, almost 30 lah. Maybe
Alright,
for the
alright,
record.
alright,
Yeah,
okay.
man.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
check
do
it out.
like a point of on him being not situationally aware because I do remember it was a game against Southampton. It was we were playing a
And that was a
midfield
game you
pivot
guys
of-
were like cruising, right?
Yeah, we were cruising and then he was just not at it. He was just
Was that the game that he got subbed off after halftime?
yeah, it was.
Right,
he got
right.
subbed off for
Yeah.
Jorginho.
My man is
Mm.
1 year younger than us. He's 27.
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was 30.
He's actually like, I think Atletico tied him to like a 10-year deal or something. It was
What?
absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
And
absurd.
what would he like look?
Because he was really good. Like
Mm.
like 3-4 years ago, he was really good, and I don't know what happened.
He's still in
somewhere
the
along the
Spain
lines.
team, no?
Is
It's
he?
debatable. He's gonna
Yeah.
get ousted by like all the guys with one name. I
Yeah.
mean, he has one name
Yeah.
too, but like it's
So-
gonna be like Gavi,
Yeah,
Pedri,
yeah.
guys. So-
But yeah, I mean, that's for the DM position. What do you guys?
I'm actually surprised. I thought you would have put Kante, even though
Ooh.
I know you've been critical of
But
him.
he's not a DM.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's where
and he's also been in and out.
outplayed at different positions and like just
But we kind of knew that he was in decline. So let's say he was something like Soyuncu where he had like a great season last year, and then I just outrightly said at the start, oh, I expect great things from Kante,
Mm.
and then he kind of didn't live up to my expectations of him this season, then yes, he would be a shoe-in. But firstly, he's been
he's been performing
His
a
legs
good
are-
7 for like couple of seasons
he's been
straight up.
consistent for like what,
Leicester
5
since Leicester's
seasons,
era all the
Yeah.
way until like
all the way
right
until
now.
Conte, and then it's because it's been so overplayed by like Sarri, by like Lampard and all that, which is the reason why he hasn't
Just
had
burning the
proper
candle
rest.
right now, yeah.
Correct, yeah. Basically, his candle is burnt at both ends.
Yeah.
and it's like
Yeah, I got
Chickens have
you
come
on
home to
that. I
roost.
got you on that.
I think after you guys beat us in the Champions League, I mean he was a monster in the Champions League final,
Exactly,
lah, but
yeah.
I think after that, maybe his legs are just
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
definitely worn out. But DM like
That must
really-
annoy the hell out of you though. Like
Wow.
his last good game was against you guys.
I mean, they had to win the
No,
Yeah.
but in that game, I recall so clearly, right?
Same.
He was
Everywhere.
everywhere. Like he was contesting the ball at whichever position of
Yeah.
the field. I was like, this guy is totally wow.
I was,
He's
I
a
was,
different-
I,
he's a
I
different
was, I was
horse.
blown away. Like
Yeah,
his level of performances were kind of what Benzema did for Real Madrid this season.
yeah.
But I think Kante got like 3 man of the match in a row on the route to the Chelsea
Correct,
winning
correct.
the UCL. But
Yeah.
I mean, with that, right, I think we're a little bit less Hollywood
Yeah.
in the DM section. So
But what are we agreeing on the DM position?
who do we have? We had
I-
Saul, we had Alan, we had
I put Gilmore.
Billy
on that.
Gilmore,
Yeah, I still put
Van der
Gilmore on
Beek.
mine. I don't put Van der Beek for that position. I mean, I get where Nate's point of view completely come from, but I still feel that the guy doesn't.
Yeah, but it just so happens that there were no bad DMs. Like I think everyone was at least a 6.5 or 0.10
Yeah.
on average.
I could also justify that for Gilmore's position that he was in a not so great club. I mean, Norwich is end up relegating, so I can't defend Gilmore on that stance.
Okay, I guess we need to choose one.
Yeah, we have to choose one. For the DM position, I could go with Alan. So
Alan is-
no, but so what scratches me is that I put Alan over DM over. Like if I had all four, right? Like I would put Alan as the DM straight up. As that DM position, as that holding midfielder, defensive midfielder. Alan's gonna be my first pick.
So maybe for the reason that he plays consistently, but Saul didn't really have much game time.
Bro,
And he was
every
like
time
left
Saul
back.
played, it was
Yeah,
awful.
but every time he played, he was bad.
Yeah,
so
but
maybe,
he was like left back as well, and then he's a lonely.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like at the end of the day, we won't kind of see him next season.
I mean, more Everton players in frauds, like the happier I'll be. But
We
even
all-
I like.
So we're gonna put Alan.
Alan,
Alan.
alright, I guess so.
All right. Alan's on the Nate. Are we good on Alan on the gonna be on the list?
I would do Saul, but
Saul is
It's
also
fine.
it's just
I remember
a,
back
Saul
in
is a
this,
funnier pick.
yeah.
But we can save Saul for the CM position.
Sure, like
Sure.
We'll
Why not?
save Saul.
I mean,
first.
we are also notorious for like changing stuff by the end. So let's just lock Alan in for
I mean, we
now.
lock
Alright.
Alan in.
Yeah.
Okay, CM position, boys. Will you
Where to
guys?
start?
I'm putting
Oh.
Dele Ali in on my list.
Yeah,
Alright.
you mentioned Dele Ali.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Dele Ali is on my list. Fraudulent since 2 seasons ago. Ever since that goal.
Was he only good for 1.5 seasons?
Yeah, pretty much.
For Spurs.
I give him two seasons.
Was it since more?
No, but Mo was like ancient dude. That he was good for like 3 games under Mo, and then he like
Yeah,
just-
so like during that Mo era, like it's when he went down straight.
the Mo
and-
era that lasted like 18
So
months.
okay, but apart from Ali, right, I actually have one more nominee.
Mm.
Like I'm gonna slot in Willock.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
good shout,
yeah,
good
yeah.
shout.
So
yeah.
Ali and
Mm.
Willock.
Mm.
Were, so the problem with why I didn't fully put my heart into Ali
That's a good one.
was because that Ali went on loan. Then
Yeah.
I don't even know whether
No,
he's
Ali
on.
was
okay.
free transfer.
But is he on transfer now?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah,
He's
so-
not at Spurs
so-
But
anymore.
no,
Ali-
I don't understand the deal. It was a free transfer, but Everton had to pay a certain amount of money if he played, like maybe he
20
reached, like,
games
20
or
games for them.
yeah,
just
it's like-
imagine like the upfront transfer fee is 0,
Mhm.
but the installments like games hit if Dele
The
Ali.
add-ons were crazy, man.
Yeah,
I
but
think the add-ons.
If he can hit those add-ons, I think he would
I
be
think which
worth
is
the
the reason
money.
why Lampard didn't have to
Play him.
play him that much.
So,
So-
like
so-
Coutinho for Barca.
So
They didn't
that's
play
why
him
it was
just not
like
to
a
hit
bit
the-
sketch for me.
Mm.
So that's why I put Willock on. I mean, I'm more than happy that Willock went.
I think Willock is a perfect example because he literally conned Newcastle to buy him.
Yeah,
Because
I
he
was
scored like a lot
mad-
of goals
Yeah,
and then he did nothing this season.
Mad happy,
Yeah.
he went for like 20 mil or something like
Yeah.
to do Newcastle, and then I was like,
No, I like the Willock
yeah,
shout.
it was down to Ali or Willock for me.
Not
for
a,
the
not,
seven-
not a bad player, just I think a lot more was expected of him.
yeah, definitely a
But
lot more.
because Newcastle have transcended players
Exactly,
like Willock, that's why
exactly.
he's kind of gone under
Exactly
the radar.
as well. So yeah, those two are for me. For you guys, the sentiment
I like the Willock
positions.
pick.
Yeah. For me, I also had Willock. Like,
Alright.
So I was kind of glad that, you know, we were like
I
on the
forgot
same
about
boat.
him.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah,
completely
yeah.
honest.
totally forgot about
because,
him as well.
no, because he fits every category
Yeah.
of like hype because he was so hyped after what he did in
Yes.
the latter half of
Yeah,
last
yeah.
season. Newcastle bought him with, you know, him being a first teamer. Like they had plans for him to kind of elevate the entire midfield because at that point of time they were playing, you know, with the likes of John Joe Shelby.
Yeah.
They're
Goat.
playing the likes of who else was it?
Longstaff, right?
Longstaff,
Longstaff,
yeah,
yeah.
and Longstaff brothers. And to not be able to break into that midfield, it just kind of says a lot about you.
Yeah,
Like I think he kind of fits the bill of someone who was playing for the move, like how Willian was playing before he
yeah,
moved to Arsenal.
yeah. I got you.
So after he got that move, after he got that cushy paycheck, that nice contract, then he decided to
Slip
not
up,
try that hard.
slip up one.
Yeah, and he wasn't cheap, right? He was like
20, I
30,
think.
20, almost 30.
I think it was
I
like
remember.
18 or 20.
I think closer to 20,
Around-
but
But
still.
he had only had like 1 year of his
Yeah,
contract,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
why it's
Which was
really
a steal.
expensive.
Yeah,
man.
it was a steal for Arsenal. Like,
And that
Yeah.
was Newcastle before they got money. So
yeah. So
that
you-
meant something.
even
Yeah,
more
yeah.
so it was fantastic for me.
Mm.
So yeah, he was definitely on my
Yeah,
list.
just echoing BK's thoughts.
Yeah.
on
What
it.
about you?
Mm.
The two of you and Nate as well.
Actually, I think I totally forgot about Willock.
It's
totally
kinda
totally
changes-
forgot,
kinda
but when
changes
you said like
everything.
Willock, it immediately clicked like, oh my goodness,
Yeah, look,
exactly.
look,
But
we
who
look at
else
each other,
do you-
we're just like,
yeah,
look
yeah.
at
But
each
who
other.
else do you have originally
that
on your list?
shining light, right? Like just
Yeah.
dawned-
Just pick
dawned
out-
on
pick
you
out
It's like
that-
a eureka
So-
moment.
yeah.
man.
I doubled up on the United midfield. United midfield. I mean, Fernandes, man, like,
Oh, what, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I was keeping him for last
yeah,
week.
give me
Just
one.
going for last also.
but that's the thing. Like, I was doubling up with the United like midfield, but Willock kind of just came in and blew it up. So I kind of have to pick between him and Pogba now, because I think Pogba, yes.
Come on, Pogba is like Maguire.
Yeah.
You
dude.
want to
Hear
freshen things up,
me
man.
out. Hear me out. But this guy, right, was blowing everyone's nips off after Leeds. Remember? He's like, what, 5 assists or something?
The first game of the season is like, oh, this is the Pogba that we want, or like, you
That
know, like.
played a heavy factor in my decision, to be honest.
Fair.
Dude, you're
fair.
basing it on emotions, man.
No, but
like your
I
two
remember-
shoe-in picks are Everton and United, which you know you're a Liverpool fan.
nah, but okay,
football rivalry.
Fernandes, you got, at least get me on Fernandes,
yeah.
right? Like, he just didn't hit the heights we expected.
Yeah, Fernandes last
He
season.
did
and
score a
this
hat
season.
trick. I mean, like he set himself really well at the start. Like he scored a hat trick,
Which is what
and then there
Pogba
was a highlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think, like, I'm also, okay, I watched the documentary, like, I have a lot of free time. I was sick, so I watched the documentary. That played a part as well. Because this guy, right, I don't want to rag on him too much, but you could
Wait,
tell,
wait,
like,
wait.
if I was a United fan watching that documentary, I'd be furious.
We were talking about Poggers, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole last season, pretty much after the Euros, you could tell he was mentally checked out. And I mean, the United board didn't do themselves a service because they dragged on his renewal for so long.
Yeah.
That they essentially shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, it's just, yeah, you're a football player, you gotta look out for yourself, but the whole thing just stunk, man. The whole situation just stunk, and
What about Lionel then? Like,
Like, I mean, I did want to put Pogba in as well. But
Once again, it's
see
the obvious.
now the
Yeah.
common enemy here is
No,
like the United
yeah.
line and it goes to Nate.
because to me, right, it's like we know Pogba has the caliber to do
Yeah,
things, right?
definitely.
Like especially in France.
Yeah.
He's a different player in France, lah.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for him, right, I think one thing that really takes me off, right, is that the way he just carries himself. Like, do you remember the game against Liverpool?
Of course.
His heat map was just when he entered the field and that small little area before
Yeah.
he got sent off.
No,
Like,
he did a Granit Xhaka.
Yeah.
The Granit
He just
Xhaka
got
was
sent.
there,
He was
yeah,
like, I'm like, F this, I'm not gonna stick around.
yeah, so it's
get
like
my ass
the
whooped,
build up
I'm gone.
from the hype from the start of season where he like almost like 4 or 5
yeah.
assists.
Yeah.
And then there was so much hype from the United fans. And
Yeah.
then when you went all the way down to that level, I'm like, this guy is like so finished.
It's
Like, he's
because
so done.
it's because he always gives us this glimmer like of who he can really be,
Yeah.
and then you see
Hon-
there's
He's
like,
just not trying. In life.
Honestly, it sounds like Griezmann.
there's no consistency. It's like, I don't want a player who's like a 10 for like 2 games and then just
Sounds
bang
like
average.
a classic French thing.
Do you know right now
Varane,
we are like Graham Souness's wet dream.
Oh yeah, we're trying to get on Sky,
Pogba,
dude.
dude.
And I mean, it almost sounds weird, but I like Pogba. I want to see him succeed, but and maybe he'll do it at Juventus. Who knows?
So
but
I feel the ironic thing coming from both of them. Maybe
Yeah.
not ironic, but it's like United is kind of their common enemy. So then we have to like push this question to Nate. Do you think that Pogba is on the list? Do you think that Pogba?
I mean, if we can have one of them, like we don't need to have both.
Wait. You say you watched the documentary, right?
Yeah.
What was the highlight of that documentary?
him not signing the contract.
Basically, the thread from all the episodes was him just in contract limbo.
Mm.
Him and Mino Raiola, like, and his like team, like discussing, oh man, what's the best move
That
for
was
me?
the highlight of the.
And then inside all of the episodes, you have his family life.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, of
basically
course.
showing he's a family man,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is cool.
Yeah.
You know,
His bros
raise
and-
your
yeah.
brand. Like, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it was just about, you know, players gotta look out for themselves.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was essentially, the way I got it was him justifying being kind of a waste man at United. He's like, oh, it's not me, it's the club. You know, like they say they want to play me, but
Pretty much what
they're not.
Yeah.
They're not showing it through action. And
It
then
was
it's-
summed up on the social media
It's
and
just
everything. Yeah.
So was
Bad
it
lah.
him like playing too much of the victim card? Like, oh,
A
it's
lot-
not me,
a
it's
lot of it-
you. Like the
Do you
reason
think-
why I'm not
yeah.
playing, it's you, it's not me.
Was it kind of like an explanation to like like vindicate himself. Like, oh,
I-
this is the reason why
I guess
I'm not playing that well.
not even like he never really took accountability for anything. Everything was just about, like how do we not like there was one clip he was really pissed off that they didn't win their final home game of the season. He's like, I wanted to send the fans off with a win. And I'm like, but okay, why don't you analyze your own performance? So I don't know, a lot of it's quite tone deaf. It's just like me, it's my brand. Like, how the team needs to build around me, which okay,
It sounded.
I get that, but you need to give the team something as well.
Yeah.
When you don't have that bargaining power anymore, you can't expect things to just fall your way. But I don't want to digress and make this like a Pogba hate thing. But
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
man.
the same.
if you have like few hours to kill, it's quite funny. Like
We can film our own pogmentary.
So I think the question should go back, like Nate, like who do you have on your CM list of the fraud
United
list?
boys.
Yeah.
First
No,
of
no,
all,
it doesn't
do
have to
you,
be
do you
United.
vehemently disagree with either
So
of them?
it was down to Ali,
Bruno?
Willock.
Bruno, Willock,
Willock.
and Poggers, I
Pogba,
guess. Yeah. It's down to 4. Do you have any one of them on your list?
I think of the four, I would take off. I'll take off Poggers because he's not new.
He's a traitor.
I think that's the thing. I think he's in the whole like frauds of the season. We usually target
For
people
sure.
who
Yeah,
are
that
new,
that's in his favor.
and so he's been there and he's kind of let them down for very long already.
Yeah.
So I think he maybe be like fraud of the decade.
It's not like it's like I'm not mad, just disappointed.
Yeah.
Well-
And like kind of glad to see that
All right,
he's
then
sure.
down
gone
to
there,
the
I
other
think.
three. Who?
Sure.
Fernandes is a bit of a hard one because I had a stat that I had just put up, and I'm no stat man, but apparently
Oh, you can be a stat man.
Bruno has 35 goals, 25 assists in 76 appearances. Apparently, there's only one person who's better than him, and we all know who that is. That's KDB. So, like, even though he's been underwhelming for his standards, the issue with Fernandes is that he set the bar too high for himself last season. So he has definitely underperformed by his standards, but not by the league standards. So that's where this is a bit tricky. Like, would I still want him in my team over the other four names? Yes. I think he has the best output.
I'm sure we've watched a lot of United games this season, right? I think I pointed out that he seems a bit more petulant. Like he whines a lot, like way more than he should.
No, it's
Which
Kron
comes to
rubbing
a
off
point.
on
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gone. It's
It's
a
the Portuguese.
system issue.
Yeah.
Oh god, he's gonna have that next season at Arsenal.
No, and also his positioning, like I did point out to you before, that his positioning is not where you want him. He's doing too much. He's taking too much responsibility on himself there, because I think he knows that the United team is not what it should be, which is the reason why he's like dropping deep too much. He's going to the left, he's going to the right, where you want Bruno is in the center, where he does most of his damage, which was pretty evident like 2 seasons ago. But yeah, he's just not keeping faith on his teammates to get him the ball, which, yes, he is right to a certain extent because they're not good enough. But I think what Ten Hag needs to do is to kind of stamp out that petulance in him and tell him that, okay, I want you to have some positional discipline. I don't want you to be a DM because you're not. I don't want you to be too much far on the right or to the left because you're
Yeah.
not. I want you in that center. I want you to
Like
be
stop giving me
my
30%
creative
here.
players.
Give me
Yes,
100%.
correct.
Like where your best.
He
right?
reminds me a lot about Wayne Rooney. When Wayne Rooney knew he was the best player at United, he would drop all the way
Baldery.
back to
Bald
Baldery.
different.
That's right. He'll drop all the way back to the defense to pick up the ball, and then he would do a switching ball from his own penalty box. And I think Bruno's trying to do that. He's just not as
Oh, fair
good.
enough.
But he definitely sees himself as the only one who probably can do it.
Mm.
And then his frustration, I think, builds up when
No,
he
but the
realizes
difference
his
is
team
that
doesn't
Rooney
support
played
him.
with great players.
Exactly.
Whereas Fernandes is playing with players like Luke Shaw, like Maguire.
Yeah, that's how you brought Luke Shaw into
Rashford.
that was the first thing that came. So, all right. So, but back to the list, like of
Alright.
that CM position.
I think it'll be Willock. And
Yep.
I really like Will.
Yeah.
for that pick.
Willock.
after
Okay,
agreeing.
so DM, Alan, CM, Willock.
Yeah.
So down to
AM.
AM.
I mean, Bruno plays AM as well. So
Ali plays AM.
Ali plays AM
But
as well.
you can use the same argument for Pogba as
Okay,
with Ali.
so-
It's almost just like, what do you expect?
So-
That's
we could
true.
pick two.
No, so
We
so
could pick two from
I
that.
have an issue with this AM position because
Yeah.
I'm not too sure their positions. But you guys all like AM.
I thought you had.
No,
I
actually,
thought you
I
had
do
my guy.
I do have a. I do have two
Wait,
names.
wait, wait,
No,
wait,
I do have two
wait,
names,
wait,
but no, but to me, right, like I think Willock is like the best pick of the bunch.
Sure.
lah. Because
I
because
agree.
he totally fits to like our team lah.
Yeah.
Because of new transfer hype and everything.
Yeah.
But I think the first thing I like to call out is Jorginho. Like I felt like Jorginho ever since like the Euros, right? Like when he missed that penalty, right?
Ballon d'Or.
And then he started to decline like mad lah. And like I mean, together alongside Kante, right? He looks so poor. Like
Last season.
I actually like chanced upon a stat that was super interesting. So like, you know how like most players, right? They have to contest for balls, right? So there's a stat called duels won and duels lost.
Yeah.
So like amongst all the players, even Leeds defenders, right? Most of them, right, their duels won is usually more than duels lost. But for Jorginho's case, his duels lost is more than duels won. So most of the time, right, he would lose possession.
It's
of the
almost
ball.
like teams will let him get the ball.
Yeah.
To like.
Yeah, so they know that this is the weak link, then they try to go and attack him.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hot damn.
I mean, I can't argue with stats. So
Yeah, and this is the stats lah. And to
Yeah.
me, it's like I feel that Chelsea with Jorginho in the squad, it kind of like make them not at that level. Like
playing with 10 men.
yeah, and that's why he got dropped eventually, right? Yeah, for like Kovacic, who was like miles better than that, who had so much more to show for.
But this is potentially overtaking Willock, or we.
No,
I
but
think
I think
Willock's a
Willock
lock.
still takes the
Alright,
credit.
so
think
this
Willock's
is
gone,
this is
yeah.
a hot take that we're gonna have
Yeah, but-
Jorginho over Willock.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe for
No,
the listeners,
we
right?
can add that for
for
our
the listeners,
nominees,
right?
yeah.
Maybe you can just maybe keep a keen eye on Jorginho
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
see how he plays.
I could see
Actually,
that.
on
Yeah.
Jorginho, right? Do you guys think he stays at Chelsea? I think he might go before the end of the window. I really do.
I don't know who will snap him up. That's my question.
I mean,
Yeah, who
maybe
would
at
go for him?
Atalanta or even
No,
back to
I
Napoli.
think
back
he's
to
in Napoli.
Napoli.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back to
I
Napoli.
really think he
Back
could
to
be
Napoli
gone, man.
seems like a situation that he'll be in.
I think he would stay just because we can't afford to be losing more
Exactly,
players.
I completely agree with Sasha.
And we are losing tons of players right now,
Yeah.
especially in defense. And the thing about Jorginho is like, I kind of feel like he's like the Henderson of Chelsea, where
the squad
technique
play.
wise,
Yeah.
he's not in his prime anymore, but he has great character. I'm sounding like Brendan Rodgers. He has great character. Like he knits the dressing room together. So you
We-
kind of need a cheerleader in like
Yeah,
squad.
I think he'll be kept maybe half a season or one season and then let off like probably with Aspi at this.
Yeah, it's something like Milner, like
Yeah.
he's not gonna play every game because he's not in his prime anymore, but he's good to have in the squad. So
But the funny
I
thing
don't
that
think Jorginho's
but-
that old.
yeah.
He's
Holy shit.
31, 32.
I'm not saying age-wise he's like Milner, but his influence is like
Milner's like
Milner.
Yoda,
yeah.
bro.
No, but the funny thing that you brought up Henderson, because actually I have Henderson in my list lah.
Oh, you
and,
did?
and for those that are watching and listening, right, you will be thinking that I'm mad lah. But you hear me out first. So to me, right, like I feel that, I mean,
I love 1 point, nothing fantastic.
No,
It's like that.
you just let me
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me out
please,
first.
please,
So to me, right, I just feel that, I mean, as great as Liverpool is, right, like I feel that if you're missing Henderson, right, we actually make that much of a difference.
I think he's just the backroom.
Yeah, to me,
yeah.
he's just the guy he's just the engine lah. Like the guy who
He just
gives them
shouts,
good
dude.
vibes.
He just shouts.
Yeah, but to me, honestly, Henderson's a very average player.
Yeah.
I think the reason why he, in terms of character, right, he's such a great leader is because he was groomed, like he understudied Gerrard. So like I think that kind of rubbed on him a lot. But to me, we are looking at him as a player.
Mm.
So like, is he really that good of a player?
No, he's bang average to me, but
Yeah.
like I do respect the command that he gets in the dressing room.
Yeah, of course.
It's pretty much like he's alright as a player. So like what you said, like if he doesn't appear or he does appear, right? It's okay. But I think they did this documentary over and like everyone
Oh, yeah.
respects the
Yeah.
presence of him there. And it's like good enough for him to be like as a squad player. I don't know how much he earns, I don't know what he does, but like it's one of those players that you need in your. It's like company towards his retiring age, but it's like you just need that player there to secure the
Yeah,
squad.
but I felt like maybe the difference is that company was actually good. So
Ooh!
yeah. I mean, yeah. Like
No,
Pascal,
Henderson is never gonna be the like best player at Liverpool. Like
I
never
definitely-
was,
yeah.
never will be. There was a season, I think it was the year we won the league. I would say he was most influential then. Like
Yeah.
I would disagree when you said if you take him out, you don't notice. We would have missed him then, which we did. But having said that, right, I think once Jude comes in, that's it lah. It's curtains for Hendo.
If Jude
Yeah.
comes in, yeah.
If
If
yeah,
Jude
I know.
comes in, yeah.
But ideal signing for me. But I mean,
But
I agree. Like Henderson is like far from
His
the
prime.
best
you
Prime.
guys, you guys played better when Elliot was playing Henderson's role.
Yeah, but I think the injury set him back so much, man. It'll be interesting to see if he can come in and
Not
rekindle
Curtis
that.
Jones.
Jones. Never rated Jones.
But we should not digress from the
Yeah.
AM
Oh,
position
yeah,
of.
I mean, Henderson's a good shout if you wanted to. I think
we
he
could
have
slot
he
him
could
in,
have slotted him in
Yeah,
DM.
we could shift Willock as AM because that was the position he played when he was good.
But fraud of the season, come on, harsh.
Yeah.
Not. I agree with nothing fantastic about him. He didn't crack up,
So
but-
you guys put your picks for AM would be
I will put
wow.
Willock and Fernandes.
okay. Well,
Like,
what
my
will
midfield
you
too.
put for AM?
Oof. Actually, after what Nathan said,
Yeah.
right?
Convinced me.
He convinced me because I think during the first season, honestly, like Fernandes, right? He was like he really set the bar so high for himself, so that when
He did,
people
he
went
did.
into this season, right, they expected him to
Yeah.
perform at that level.
Yeah.
So when he dropped off so much, actually, if you look at his stat, is he really that bad?
Yeah.
But if you be objective lah, but
So for
but the vibes that
He's
he
also
gives,
just-
it's-
he's-
it's just the vibes.
Fernandes is the
mind.
kind of player you love to hate. Also,
Yeah.
if you're not a United
I'm
fan.
not a United fan, so.
So when he misses like 2 important penalties, doing his
Oh,
nonsense,
this
Yeah.
smashing well.
yeah.
So for AM Lionel, who are you?
Wow, this is a tough one, but I think
I wish I had more options because
Yeah.
right now I kind of don't want to put Fernandes in, but just because I'm blanking.
Willock and I think it still has to be Bruno. Yeah, it still has to
We'll
be.
put it in for now. For now.
Yeah, for now,
Nate,
for now.
Nate, who do you have?
But
for
he's kind of an oddity.
Nate,
because-
you guys didn't see
yeah.
this on cam, but Nate's steering. But like, Nate, who do you have for your AM position if you didn't have
He's just gonna
Bruno?
put, I hate you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you out.
He's probably the one player on the list who's really affected by he's like a huge victim of his own success.
But who's the
Yeah.
AM do you have in your list?
I don't really have an AM. I think one that is maybe underperforming now is
Just put
What?
Naby Keita, bro.
no, he's
I won't
not an
fault you.
AM, right? Is he?
Actually, yeah, I'm surprised
No,
you didn't put on this.
Naby Keita has been underperforming for.
He literally
For
took
5
up 2
seasons.
of our
Since the start of the contract.
slots last year.
Since the start of the contract.
You remember like the Instagram? It was like just him and him. It wasn't even a poll. It was just Keita and Keita. But yeah, let's
I got no one.
let's
I think
not
we'll go with
Fernandes in
Bruno.
for now. But I would say what you said about him made a big difference, I think. And
so-
you might have convinced anyone who's like watching or listening because I have a bit of a perspective shift now, but too late. It's like I don't have anyone else.
So I have an issue here because of my wingers list, right?
Yeah.
My AM is kind of skewed to his.
So we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll
So
figure it out.
I have Bundia.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, he's on my list.
you're
Because
just
he
mad
came-
he didn't sign for you guys.
I mean,
Oh.
But it's probably a dodge
yeah,
the bullet.
we might have dodged the bullet there. But he's on my list because he's an AM / winger.
I think he's more. Yeah, he's
Yeah, so-
He plays
so-
in the front three.
And-
Yeah.
but I know he can start in the AM position
Yep.
because I play a lot of FM.
Yeah.
Just shout out.
Shout out to FM.
But yeah, I know he can play the position, so I slot him there because I have other potential wingers.
Okay.
But Bundia is on my list of
Mhm.
definitely a fraud on the wings or whatnot. But just shout out to him as a potential.
For
I
sure.
mean, I would line that Bruno thing, but like Bundia as well came with a lot of hype. It wasn't cheap. I mean, 32 might sound cheap, but for Aston Villa, it's not cheap. And
But I think it was because he didn't expect Coutinho to be.
It's also stop
He's
but
start.
rival.
Coutinho came after him.
Yeah, which is why like he had the AM slot all to himself.
But that first half of the season, I wouldn't say that he actually shined.
Yeah,
for
that is true.
He didn't.
Mm.
He
That,
definitely-
that being said, Buendia was also someone that came to mind. But if you want to look pure numbers, I think 10 returns in 30 games for Villa, a poor Villa side that finished like what 15.
Yeah, which was my
not,
issue.
Not the worst. I think if you wanted to go with a Villa winger, Bailey would have been more.
Yeah.
So Bailey was my winger position.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that in a bit, but
Okay, okay.
Bailey is my winger
Yeah,
position that
yeah.
I as well slot him in.
Also, Buendia was your cam.
Yeah, so
Ah.
Bonilla was my cam and Bailey was one of the wingers. that I have in mind.
Okay. Yeah, Bailey, man. I mean,
But we'll
Also, we're going with right wingers first.
so we're going
Since
with
we
Bruno.
are-
Bruno for the AM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. In all,
he'll come back. He'll come back
Yeah.
stronger. He'll prove us wrong.
okay. Honestly,
That's
right.
the FKB
Honestly,
curse.
I'm going to say this
Put
to the
him in
screen
now.
right now, right? To you guys looking at this, the last three positions are not for debate because like it's pretty straight up. Like
Yeah.
we all have our list. We're just gonna shout out our right wingers right now, right? 3, 2, 1, and then we all shout out our right wingers.
Wait, I might not have the same right winger as you. But
No, I'm curious to see, right?
Oh.
3, 2,
I'm
1.
I'm too used to
if we do
flipping
all
them
of it
around.
together, the listeners might not be able to hear. Like, it's gonna be like
Just quick
Yeah.
fire. Lah,
Yeah, quick fire. Quick fire.
You want to start with you first?
Sancho.
Well,
Sancho is
Sancho's my left.
Sancho's a left winger.
Sancho's my left.
Right,
So
what?
Wait, they bought him to
I'm
play.
going by
oh,
FIFA.
Oh yeah. No.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't he the Nani? Like you kept harping on about how United haven't had a right winger
I tell you
since
what,
Nani,
I
right?
tell you guys what, we throw our
Was
front three.
Valencia.
We throw our
Yeah.
front three straight.
Yeah.
Front three, right?
No. We do right wing first.
Right
Let's
wing,
keep
left
it-
wing. We put our right wing, left wing in case they're
Okay.
injured.
Okay.
So, Pascal, since you really throw Sancho in, who's your other one in your pick?
Bruh, it's actually not Jackie G.
Oh,
we,
wow.
we spoke about
I
this.
do not
a bit
have Jackie
before.
J on my list. I'm just gonna say this.
I have Fabio Silva, man, for Wolves.
Wolves.
You guys,
Well, he's not a winger.
he's like plays along the front.
I
too.
actually
He's
had
a
the
striker.
other Wolves
He's
guy.
a golden.
Okay, fine. If you want pure winger, Pepe.
Why not?
What? Really? Like Pepe is so like so I tell you who I have. I have Leon Bailey and Brian Gill
Oh, okay.
and Sancho.
Actually, Brian Hill had quite a lot of hype. around
Yeah,
him. And he-
exactly.
and he
He
didn't
didn't
have-
play time.
and he's like,
He
I
didn't-
got loaned out.
Yeah.
I
He
knew
didn't play.
Brian Gill was a flop
And he
the
got-
moment
So
he
they brought
signed.
him in, and then they instantly loaned him
Yeah,
out.
that's why I was like, what the hell is
Howard from the
Yeah,
going,
exactly.
Yeah.
So Brian Gill, Leon Bailey, and then on my other wing is Sancho.
I mean, we even had the debate about Sancho
So
and
Sancho and,
Damari
yeah.
Gray, right? Like, and
Demari
Demari
won
Gray
that, by the
actually
way.
won that poll.
Demari won that. Yeah, like I'll have the stats out on the FKB Insta page, or rather Insta story soon. But Demari Gray won barely. But if you're gonna spend like 1.6 million on Demari Gray, and how much did they spend on Sancho?
70?
70,
yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah,
It's
like
not just that, it's the price. They were like chasing Sancho for like God knows
yeah.
how long.
Yeah.
he was supposed to be their right winger, like
The new Ronaldo.
exactly like United have not had a right winger since Antonio Valencia, which was
A
like,
while ago, like a decade
he
ago.
was bought to replace Ronaldo, right?
Yeah.
He was part of the 80 million plus splurge that Ferguson had. And then after like Valencia, they didn't have a right winger.
Yeah.
People were like, the
I
fans
mean,
were
they
charging for a
tried.
right
They
winger.
had like the pie and stuff, but none of those really
Yeah.
worked out.
So like
Yeah.
Sancho was like the one. He was like the holy grail of right wingers. And then they bought him and then they put him on the left. And then he didn't really,
Yeah.
he didn't
Yeah.
lit the
Didn't
lofty
England
heights.
play him on the left as well during the Euros?
Yeah.
He-
So
he-
apparently he's
yeah.
better on the left.
Yeah, he was okay. So that's why I thought he was a left winger. So therefore, my choices.
I just go by FIFA, bro.
my choices were Leon Bailey and Brian Gill on the right, and then left was Sancho. Yeah, but Sancho is definitely on my list just because of the hype and
Okay.
everything. So we do our right and left together.
Yeah.
So who do you guys have?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, for my left, I actually have Marcus Rashford.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because okay, I'm judging Rashford based on him as a footballer, not of him as a person. Because
MB.
Yeah.
as a person, we can all agree that he's a great
Very
humanitarian. He donates a lot of his money. He sets up hunger
Kept in the
hunger-
club for
what do you call
commercial
it?
reasons.
food banks.
Yeah.
Food banks.
I mean, he's great. He's great as a human.
Yeah,
and-
but it seems like he's turned his attention towards like being a politician compared to
I
being
think it's
a
also
footballer.
burnout, man. Like he's had to carry United for so long.
Yeah.
People forget how young Rashford still is.
That is true.
Not making excuses, but it's also when you have so many different coaches coming in telling you different things. Maybe like Mourinho told him to stick to one thing, and then
Yeah.
suddenly you have Ole telling him, no, like you're really good at this. Forget what Mourinho said, and
Mhm.
it just messes with your head.
Yep.
Yeah, especially when
I think
players,
this is a make or break season for Rashford.
Yeah.
It's a really make or break season.
I
for
mean, he
him.
did have that operation pre-season, and he joined the. He actually didn't play first team football until October when his I think it was his ankle.
But if
Or
you had
something
Rashford on
happened.
your
My left-hand side.
then who's on your right?
Oh yeah, Sancho. Yeah, it was a United
Oh,
double up.
Lionel. Like, who
yeah.
do you,
No, for me, right? I think
he's gonna put
Nate,
Sancho.
Nate,
I
Nate
think
just
he's
shrugged his
gonna-
head. I'm like,
No,
sorry.
Lionel's gonna put Sancho in by default because he betrayed City.
no, as in to me, I didn't have Sancho in because I
No.
felt that Sancho, right, he was one of the few players who was trying his best until the end of the season where I mean even
Lionel's only
Yeah.
doing this because like he's doing the City agent thing, like because like he's in United now. Sancho's in City, just fucking United up. Like, pretty much.
No, but I would say that maybe for his price tag,
Definitely.
definitely like 70 million is not some it's not a cheap player, it's a player that you get for that price is someone you really need
You
to
need
high
an
expectation.
instant
No,
Yeah.
then now it piques
Yeah.
my interest. Then who does Lionel have?
So
on
so
his-
for me, I think same as my brother, Rashford. Because to me, as in
he's been bad, dude.
Rashford
I
has
mean,
been
he's been bad. Yeah.
Rashford has been in a spiral, downward spiral, and like, as much as what he said, like, he's a great humanitarian. He does so many great things off the field. I mean, we need more people like that, lah.
Yeah.
But we are judging him as a footballer. So whenever he comes on, right, he's honestly right now nothing special, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, I wrote something funny here, lah. So basically, if Rashford were a steak, right, you have medium rare,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have well
yeah.
done.
Oh my God,
Rashford
correct.
would have been like
Pass well done.
pass well done,
Yeah.
lah.
Oh, shit.
Into a class of
Oh,
his own, Marcus
shit.
Rashford.
Do you think the
Yeah.
fact that he was replaced midway through the season by Elanga, do you think that isn't even more of a reason why he's on this list?
I feel that, like, if you put a player in that position, right, and he constantly like doesn't like fails to deliver, right, then you need to spice things up by throwing someone who has the flair and hunger for it, right?
Yeah.
But Rashford doesn't seem like with the opportunity, he wants to do something about it. He
Shouldn't
looks
he
like he's
be?
done.
Yeah, shouldn't he be one of the talisman
Yeah.
players for United?
So then
I
what-
know he's young, but like Marino said before on was it Sky Sports, Rashford is young, but he's not like Premier League young. He's been playing for what 6 years already.
So
He's been playing for 6 years.
so then my
Yeah.
issue is then what's your left wing if you put
No, as in Rashford was at. I think I would put Rashford at the left,
and then
and then I put like Brian Hill at the right.
Brian. Oh
Yeah,
you
no,
got
because
another vote
no,
on
because
Brian
the-
Hill then.
he
Why so much
I-
hate for
no,
Brian
because
Hill, man?
his story is so absurd. Like
yeah,
they
Yeah.
brought him in for like he's like 20,
Yeah.
I think 24.
Yeah, it's
and
not
then
easy.
instantly he gets loans out.
Yeah,
And then I'm like, what is going
and
on
it
here?
was the same manager at that point of time as well, and then he just got loaned out. It,
Yeah,
it
and-
wasn't
and-
like
and
a
he-
Conte.
I think he was being played during like preseason. So much hype, and then after he got loaned out.
Didn't he get loaned out in January? They kept him for half a season.
no, but he didn't
Yeah.
even showcase like that first half. It
I think
wasn't-
whenever he played, it was like
yeah, it was just subpar.
yeah.
But
No,
they had too
yeah.
many wingers. He had to contend with
Who like Son?
he was below the pecking order. He was behind Mora. He was behind Bergwijn.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's
Son
why.
definitely he was
But
behind
if you're
Son.
below Bergwijn,
I think just on Brian Hill, I think from a transfer perspective,
Wait,
right?
they bought him, right?
They bought him,
Oh,
but
they bought him. Yeah.
I don't think there's a big risk in that because even if for some reason he doesn't settle in England or the new manager or Conte doesn't figure in Conte's plans, they don't lose that much money on him if they sell him back to La Liga.
Mhm.
So it was kind of a low risk deal in my opinion. So for
So
that
that-
reason,
so then who's
I
on your?
don't even think I saw Brian Hill play like a full game.
No,
in the
that's my
Premier League.
issue. Like, I didn't even see him play a full game. Therefore, like,
I
therefore
don't know.
he
It's,
fits on this
it's
list.
tough for me to judge him based on that. I just think he was more a victim of
Bad
managerial
transfer.
change and weird.
No, but
sort of
right,
planning,
okay.
yeah.
So then, who do you have on your left and right, in that sense?
I had Sancho on like
Right.
the right / left. I just
Yeah.
I just mixed it up. Like
Yeah.
I still think Pepe goes in there, man.
Pepe.
Like
But
I mean,
Pepe
I-
falls
I
in
would-
the category of like
I would
Pogba and
put
Maguire.
Pepe. Yeah, it's like a beaten.
But
horse,
you
man.
look at this Arsenal team, right? At the start of the season, who were like the main talisman? You would think Saka with the number 7. Smith Rowe was still we didn't know what he was about, right? He had a good half season and they
So-
were looking for him to kick on. But Pepe was still like the hope. It's like, oh man,
I
this
don't
is
know.
his year, baby.
So
And
that was my issue as an Arsenal fan, right? Straight up my front three, right? Laka, Alba at the front, that front number 10, 9 position, right? And then the wingers, right? It was definitely going to be Saka, Martinelli, Smith Rowe, and Pepe actually behind the pecking order.
Wow.
And actually, obviously, Odegaard as the middle 10. So that's why
Odegaard,
I never ever saw Pepe as a 19, given the past few seasons. that
In a
he's
way,
been-
I'm also going back full circle because at the start of the previous season, we did like a little piece on make or break for Pepe.
yeah, definitely.
And for me, it was a very clear like
yeah, he
by
did
5
not,
games into the season, you know it wasn't going to happen
Yeah.
for him. So
yeah. But
that's
then,
kind of why I have him. But I can understand why Rashford would be in there.
so Nate's call, like,
I think Rashford is unanimously inside.
but
And
Sancho was unanimously inside.
no, I think Rashford's drop off is worse.
Yeah.
Compared that, I think what Sash said about how Rashford was supposed to be talismanic, and I wanted to ask you guys, how much do you think the drop off was due to the arrival of Cristiano coming back in and then being the main target man? So then no one was feeding Rashford anymore, and Rashford was
It's
supposed to become a
ironic.
feeder.
It's almost like Ronaldo took everyone else's life force.
I mean,
to-
you
to
could say the
boost
same
his
like
own-
Cavani as well. All the strikers dropped off.
He said like Greenwood got so depressed he like went to jail.
Alright, we will not we will not bring the green
Nah,
top
no matter what, you cannot blame, or maybe you can, but blame Ronaldo for everyone else's decline. Maybe I'm sure someone on YouTube has done like a study of like that in depth, but yeah, I don't really buy it. I feel like when a top player comes in, you feed off him, but it's also down to the managers. Like we had 2 kind of clowns coaching them throughout the season. So
True.
So I'm just annoyed that we have Sancho, we also have
Rashford
Rashford.
and
Maybe
Pepe
Brian Hill.
Brian Hill.
and Brian Hill. I think you have to pick between them.
We're gonna drop Leon Bailey off. Okay, go.
Bailey, is it got to do with because he had to
Managerial?
suffer a managerial change? He was a Dean Smith's guy on the right, and he was also pretty injury prone.
Just came like I thought he came with a transfer.
Yeah, he came with it was
definitely like there
huge
was
transfer fee.
excitement.
Yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan and I actually like fight for
yeah,
this
he's a
guy.
baller.
But
Yeah.
the thing about Bailey is that I would definitely have him higher on this list if he played more and he just sucked. But
Okay.
the problem for me is I didn't see enough of him, which is it's frustrating, but it's also like, dude, like get your shit
Then I
together.
guess in that case, Brian Hill is out as well. He barely played.
I feel
So-
Brian
he
Hill's
didn't
a
even
tough,
play,
Brian
bro.
Hill's a
Yeah.
tough sell for me.
So
Like,
it's
I just feel like it was one of those
So the right left is
weird-
like Sancho.
weird
It's between
transfers.
Sancho,
and Rashford.
No,
Sancho
I
and
think
Rashford.
Rashford's inside. So it's between Sancho and Pepe.
very quickly.
No, I'll put Sancho
Very
shit.
quickly, right? Even though he's not on any of our lists, I feel like we have some people watching this and screaming at their screen of where's Grealish. So do you kind of want to just jump in and
So-
say why you don't think he belongs on the list?
As an Arsenal fan, I'm gonna back this Grealish decision up. I think the Grealish decision is actually
As in a decision to not have him.
no to sign Grealish
Oh.
for 100 mil is a business strategy. It's not even about whether the player is that good or not. Like to outbuy a player so that he will not go to any other club and hold him on your stake. Grealish is good, and I think I hope now that Jesus has went to Arsenal, I hope he has more time to shine. I mean a player at his caliber, I think he's great, but I really think that they really did that so that no other clubs could buy him out. And I can see where that comes from for City. If they had the money to do it and not let. They did the same for Calvin Phillips. They just did it, and I could see why not let United not let any club get.
No,
his
but the whole
hands on.
Calvin Phillips transfer is I do understand why they got him because
Fernandinho has
left.
gone out.
So
So
there
I
was a
think
void to
I
be
think
filled.
they did the same for Aguero, but then all of a sudden Haaland came up to like because RIP Riola, but like I'm pretty sure like City stepped up their chance and like we'll get Haaland as well. Why not? If they have the funds, like I'll get it.
No, but the thing, right, is like, yeah, the Calvin Phillips one did make sense. But I feel that for the Grealish one, right, like, I do rate Grealish highly.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a lot of potential. And
Yeah, he does.
He does look like the kind of player that will fit into Pep's philosophy. But
The diving philosophy.
But the price, no. But the price tag though, like
100 mil
100
was a
million
bit
is
steep.
But
it's
he
very
he
steep.
gave me mad Benjamin Mendy vibes during the trophy celebration. Like,
Yeah, no, I think the media paints Grealish in a very like
Yeah,
a very like
it's a very
Because
easy
400
target.
For 400 mil, I think it's a bit,
yeah,
definitely.
but I would say that for Grealish, at the start of the season, I did see him, struggle to keep up with the pace of City. But nearing the end of the season, right, he does
pretty shot up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He shows flashes of being like acclimatized to how Pep will want him to play. So I think if we were to be a bit more critical of him this season, it wouldn't be as fair. But maybe next season I'll be more critical of him because of that
He
price
got
tag.
the one season settling in to
Yeah.
the. Completely agree, and that's where I even stand for relation. That
I also
Then
think
Sancho should also be freed of that.
Yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
right. Then you could argue the same for Sancho.
no, but the one thing I spoke to Lionel before he started recording this is Grealish has he is kind of the Naby Keita syndrome where he's getting bailed up by his other teammates and the fact that his team is doing well. Which, I mean, yes, when you want to talk about individuals, yeah, it's when you zoom in on him, it's a bit more obvious. But I just think the fact that they won the league, he didn't really make the team worse when he played. And the fact that he just kind of still betting in, like, Grealish, even though he was signed for that much money, wasn't expected to become City's main man. Sancho was expected to be the main man, at least until Kron came in. That's where I feel the big differences lie. But there will come a time, some have already run the rule on Grealish and say he's a flop already. I think he will have a bit more playing time next season.
yeah, hopefully.
And that's the real litmus test. If he somehow still isn't quite putting his stamp on the City team, then fair enough.
Okay, wait, maybe if the context were to be changed, right? If City didn't win the Premier League, would you put Grealish inside?
Yes.
I think he'd be
He
higher
would
up.
have
I
been
think
a
he'd be
shoo-in.
higher.
I think
higher
he'd be
up.
higher
Yeah.
up. But
I still might not necessarily put him there, but he'll be definitely
Because to me, if we didn't win the league, right, then I'll be a little bit more critical. of
because
him.
you'll be like, where did your 100
Yeah,
mil
the
go to?
Naby Keita effect.
Yeah, exactly.
100%, I agree
the
on that.
Naby Keita theory.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
theorem.
so our left and right.
It's
Going
Sancho and
across.
Rashford.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a
man.
double up, man.
It's the double up.
I'm
right
sorry for
there.
those listeners who thought Grealish would make the list, but might be a hot take. We'll put him
Yeah.
as a hot take kind of thing.
Yep.
So then
That leaves us
we're all
with-
unanimous
It's
with
purely
the
the money, lah. It's
Well,
purely
okay.
the price tag. That
we're all unanimous on the striker decision.
wait,
3, 2, 1,
wait,
3.
wait.
I believe 3, 2, 1.
Wait, so let me just lead
he's
us
already
with this,
he's already
okay?
gone home.
Yeah, okay, because I'm short and I'm pretty hungry right now, so I'm just gonna reach out and grab the low-hanging fruit, which is Lukaku. Okay, Chelsea bought him for, was it 90 odd million?
97.5.
Yeah,
No,
he
you
was
guys,
supposed
you
to
guys
be-
loaned him for 85 million.
Yeah, that's the current meme that is going about now. So Chelsea bought Lukaku for his goals because what we lacked the season beforehand was a goal scorer. And Lukaku, at the point of time, we thought that, when we signed him, he would give us that, someone who could finish the chances that were being created, because last season, Chelsea, we created one of the most chances. It's just that we weren't very clinical.
Which Werner got the shot and
Yeah,
the stick
Werner
for.
Werner was the
Yeah, he was the
scapegoat for
shot
that.
and the stick. Yeah, he
Yep.
he got flamed for that.
Yeah, so when we brought in Lukaku, Chelsea fans around the world were like, yes, we finally got our guy.
Yeah, and he's like Chelsea born and the Chelsea
the
player.
return of
things
the
that
prodigal
the things
son,
that he
Yeah,
said,
prodigal, yeah,
like
yeah.
son. Unfinished business.
Yeah.
He was looking forward to creating a new chapter for himself.
I
He
feel
kind
that-
of molded himself in the whole Drogba.
If this was Maguire's hype, then like Lukaku's hype just
Yeah,
like
and
double.
it's not just the goal scoring and all that. It's like the intangibles that he gave us. Like he was looked upon like the leader of the
And
team
he
because he
won
was one of the elder statesmen.
and he won the Italian
exactly,
league.
and he was fresh from winning the
Serie A.
Serie A with
yeah,
Conte.
yeah.
Also, despite being sort of left out at United in this closer to the when he left the club, right? He was still scoring a lot of goals.
Yeah,
so goal
exactly.
scoring was never the issue for Lukaku.
Yeah, so the whole needing to adapt to the Premier League it wasn't really part of the reason why we shouldn't sign Lukaku, because we knew that he knows the Premier League.
He was Premier League ready.
Exactly, he was Premier League ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like when he came in, there was so much hype because he scored on his debut against Arsenal.
Oh, that was the
and we thought
perfect
that-
debut. It
Exactly,
was the
right?
perfect
He
debut.
bullied
Take
Pablo
that
Mari,
salt.
but then again, in hindsight, it was Pablo Mari.
Ooh.
Yeah, and so
Yes,
he followed up with 2 goals with Aston Villa, and we thought that, all right, this is the guy that's going to catapult us to, instead of like the duopoly of Manchester City and Liverpool for the title, like with Lukaku, we could throw our
You guys
hat
were
in.
top, like
for the start of the
like
season.
around
and
for the
then-
first 10 games,
Yeah,
yeah,
first
yeah.
10
First 10
games.
games.
Yeah.
Exactly, and we thought like, all right, this guy, he is our answer, like because we haven't been
been like-
in a title shot for like 5 years
But I
already.
felt like his entrance kind of wrecked the front three even more
Maybe,
so.
like-
like
like-
the synergy was not
Like
as
based on reports on, or rather hearsay, he was a Roman Abramovich signing because at the point of time, Roman was still Chelsea
Weren't you all going for Haaland?
owner.
no.
Yeah, but-
Interestingly, actually, I read another
Yeah, we
report
were.
that said it was Tuchel signing.
We were, but oh really?
Yeah, we were just quite
Tuchel
shocked. but
wanted Lukaku,
Yeah,
but the funny thing was after Roman left,
He got
like
obsoleted.
Lukaku
Yeah.
was dropped. And
Exactly.
I wonder how much of Lukaku's playing time was due to because Roman was the owner and
Yeah,
Roman
yeah.
bought.
I got
Because
you.
Roman is known for forcing players. I know
Yeah.
it's a weird thing to say, but
Torres.
forcing players onto managers. Like he bought Torres for
Yeah.
Ancelotti when Ancelotti clearly didn't want
Yeah.
Torres at all
Liverpool should
because
have
it would
Andy
disrupt
Carroll
like the
too.
whole dynamics of the team.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah. So and what kind of ended like the whole Chelsea love affair between the fans and him was that untimely interview. where
Yeah,
he said
yeah,
that he
yeah,
wanted-
yeah.
Like
There was like a way out. There was
yeah,
a way
like
out.
after he did the interview, there was like no way back for
The
him. at all.
interview was so bizarre as well. It's like
Yeah.
he
He
sort of
loves
set it up, right?
Italy.
Because he was injured at a point of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he was.
he couldn't
Yeah, so
play.
we were all waiting for Lukaku to come back,
Yeah.
and then the interview just got aired, and then like no one wanted him back after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I
something like
remember that. I remember that.
he was like into this, into
It's like he got
that.
caught cheating and you just
Yeah.
couldn't look at
He
him
was
the
like,
same
I
way.
prefer the water at Inter Milan
Yeah.
than at Chelsea, and then like the love affair was dead,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
just wasn't part of the team anymore.
Yeah.
I think the storyline is just too farcical to like not be in a fraud of
But,
the
but
season.
are we all in unanimous
Like, hands
decision
down,
that
You have to, bro.
The
Nick
hype, the
has
price
to.
tag, what he was supposed to bring to Chelsea, and how it ended off.
You know how I talked about players, a big criteria being him making the team worse?
Mhm.
That was Lukaku.
Yeah.
Like Chelsea actually were worse side apart from the first 2 games when he played. Like,
So I did almost want to throw Harry Kane in, not because he was a Spurs player.
Oh, come
Harry
on.
Kane
Oh,
for
No, but just
Harry
the first,
Kane until December. Maybe.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
right,
exactly,
right.
exactly.
He was
My
he
point.
was bad.
Yeah.
People forget,
so
man.
that we're like everyone was like hyped up like that whole summer. Like Harry Kane was supposed to go Man City.
Yeah.
City. It was Kane or Haaland, and then all of a sudden like Kane didn't get the gig, and he just stayed, and he was like shit throughout the first half of the season. When Conte came in, then the Son Kane synergy kind of came back, and I was like, I did want to throw Kane in just for that, but then I was like, honestly, Lukaku was worse on the on paper and
It's
everything.
not. It's,
Yeah,
it's,
Lukaku
it's a no
just takes the
contest,
cake,
lah.
man.
Yeah, it's a no
so
contest.
that's why that's the only reason why I didn't throw Kane into the mix.
Mm.
But I mean,
No, I mean,
Shout out to
if we were doing a half season fraud, Kane would be in there, but
He did not make
he
the
picked
list.
up again. So
but yeah, I would throw him in the list just for the mix of the we have that vote system, and then we'll see.
but the funny part is that there's no debate. This is almost
There
like
is no debate.
It's like a
Yeah.
slam dunk. Like Nate, what do you think?
Yeah.
yeah, Nate, what do you think?
Nate
I mean,
hates Lukaku,
you
dude.
used
He's like-
you used to watch
hater.
it.
He's
right?
like Harry Kane
He's
should
like
have
a
came
resident
United.
Lukaku hater.
Harry Kane should have came United.
Yeah.
United. So then therefore,
No, it's definitely Lukaku, 100%. I mean,
we're all on.
you know this when you look at the starting line and you're just like, where's Havertz?
But we're on-
It's so clear.
100% all unanimous that like Lukaku is pretty much the first pick.
I actually tried thinking of other options, and he's just like Sash said, he
Alba-
ticks every
Al-
single box. Yeah.
Obama Young is. If he made the full season, he might be on my list. But yeah. Next season might be Nketiah, but I'll just leave it as it. That's
Oh,
next
God.
season's issue.
No, but you know the interesting thing, like you mentioned, like I think just now you mentioned that, the reason why Lukaku isn't performing up to standard is because like maybe the team, when he came in, the team's like, structure was kind of broken because they kind of have to, play to his favor. So like the same thing was mentioned for Ronaldo. And I digress a little bit, but that is my main concern for Haaland also lah.
Whether Haaland can...
Could this be a common denominator that traditional number 9s are no longer like working? Yeah, so that is one of my concerns also.
That'll be very interesting on our next season.
Yeah.
Fraud takes.
We're not talking about flaws of the season 22-23.
Yeah.
No, I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
But hopefully Haaland's name doesn't come up.
So this comes with our last part of the fraud of the season. Manager.
Ooh.
Manager. Who do we... Nate, do you want to roll us off with your manager hot takes? Who's the fraud of the season manager? Who would you pick as your manager's fraud?
Is it going to be Rangnick?
I don't think there were that many options as usual.
I'm just trying not to put another
I
United.
actually have a very hot take on this, but I'm going to leave mine.
Please. If Nate is
Bestow
still,
us your hot
if
take.
Nate is still thinking,
Bestow it upon
What
us.
do you guys have? What do you
Mine's
guys?
Rafa, dude. It's between
Yeah,
Rafa
man.
and Nuno.
Yeah, man.
It's between Rafa and Nuno because I'm
I
gonna
hate
go with
Nuno.
Nuno.
I hate Nuno, man, because Nuno was
Nuno
like,
was pretty up there.
he came in and
Nuno
then
came
to be
in for-
fair, like I felt like Nuno was just
Yeah.
signed for the wrong
Nuno,
gig.
Nuno was never the guy they wanted.
I mean, when
He
Nuno
was the
signed, we all
rebound.
like went like,
He was the rebound
Yeah,
manager.
Nuno came in, he won 3 matches, 1-0, but they played absolutely crap football.
dog.
It was not
Yeah.
convincing.
I still don't know how the
Yes.
hell they beat you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I
My
was like,
goodness.
oh my god.
It was just Son and Kane.
I was shocked. I was like,
No,
what
Kane
is
wasn't
this?
even playing, dude. It
It
was
was
a
just
Son
Son.
show.
It was just Son then.
Yeah, and then Nuno just
Finesse,
was not there.
finesse the 1-0 win.
Yeah.
One manager of the month.
So you guys are
Dude,
Nuno and Rafa.
I'm also putting in Rafa because
Yeah.
he was pretty much a meme. Like,
Rafa went in for a job. It was Agent
Yeah, he
Rafa.
was, yeah.
He's not on the
Rafa.
list because he's Agent
Rafa
Rafa.
is no
in-
fraud.
he
Rafa
went
is a
in,
hero.
sabotage Everton, sold their best player, and was like, "All right, you guys, I've had enough."
Wait,
Please sack
as
me.
who Luca Dean,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, he
He
pissed
was
him
the
off
best
to the
player.
point. He just left.
So listen to my hot
My
take.
guy.
My hot take is Jurgen Klopp.
Okay.
Why? You need to justify yourself,
Please.
man.
Alright.
You have
So,
to.
so here to me, like I put Jurgen Klopp in this list because considering what he's spent and what he has done throughout the years, no doubt he has won everything. But this year was the quadruple year.
Bro,
Like-
who wins the quadruple? Like, you can't call someone a flop because
Manchester
they didn't win.
United.
Manchester City won the quadruple, but no one talks about it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
there was no UCL.
No, so
it's still a quadruple.
no, so my issue is that
I don't know. Shit,
I mean, I did expect it. We all kind of expected Liverpool to have
I
at least.
didn't want them to win the quadruple.
I mean, we didn't
Like-
want them, but we kind of like thought that they would at least have won the Premier League or the UCL. I did think either one. Like they had to fight for either one.
Prem was always like tough. Like I think I
Definitely.
only started
Yeah.
dreaming when Mahrez missed the penalty against West Ham. But I mean, we were like how far behind? Like 13, right? In
Yeah,
December. So.
I get that Prem, but the UCL was
UCL
just,
we got overconfident.
yeah, it was just
100%. We
which
thought
is that and
we
Salah
thought we were
spoke
going. Yeah, Salah talks way too much.
So I just threw a hot take in there just
Sure.
because of Klopp. Given budget
It's tough,
all that,
lah.
Maybe-
my
yeah,
my
maybe
dad.
it's got-
eh,
maybe
Pascal,
it's
you
something
guys
like
don't see this
like
on
insulting
screen right
my
now.
dad.
Maybe he takes the Fraudifications why he takes the hype
He-
because
I mean, he's a good manager, no doubt, but like,
hilarious though. Like you guys had a trophy parade for like 2 Mickey Mouse cups.
yeah.
To be fair,
Yes.
he did say we were gonna do it regardless.
No. I mean,
Yeah. If he did it randomly, I would have been like, what? But
Look,
knowing that it was gonna happen,
But you guys
either
had
way.
a sort of a good season though. Your women's team won the championship.
Hey,
wow, shout out.
Championship and 2 Mickey Mouse cups.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
and a great trophy parade.
A trophy is a trophy. Like no matter what FA Cup or whatever it is still a trophy. But what scratches my head is like you guys had one of the most solid teams in terms
Yeah,
of
but
lineup.
you guys didn't score in any final.
Yeah, which
0
like
goals in
I
finals.
was actually honestly quite affected that you guys didn't win the UEFA, which I was a bit tilted by that. Like, I mean, of course you were against Real Madrid, but like we all talked about this, like Liverpool against an aging Real Madrid, and aging Real Madrid managed to pull one over.
Why? Yeah, the thing is that
Like,
whenever we
how?
comment on their
How?
aging midfield, they win.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're like, freaking Modric, Casemiro, and like you're
But
like just
again,
like
again, you think about it. It's Modric, Casemiro, and
Cruz.
against what?
Henderson.
Henderson.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fabinho and-
Thiago was out, no doubt. I get that part, but like I was just like, on paper, it sounded like Liverpool should have won that.
it sounded like a whitewash, right?
Yeah, and then like when I woke up next day and then Pascal was like fucking mad pissed.
Well, I don't know what you guys like. Because on another day, like if Courtois is not OP,
yeah,
like,
I
we
know.
win, right? So
That as well, Courtois.
If Trent knew how to defend.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it was a tough one to swallow for sure. But
but yeah.
who knows, right? Next
Yeah,
season,
If Reece James played for Trent, no, if Reece James played for Liverpool, right?
bruh, how it's the frauds of the season. How are we talking about Trent and Reece?
Yeah. So that's anyway. But back to the point. That's my only reason why. I'm relatively annoyed that Liverpool should have won one more. Just like, so if we talk about bragging rights, right? Man City won the league, and that's
Yeah.
great. Like Man City constantly wins the league. But what I mean, like,
But they deserve some credit. You can't just be like they win all the time. Or they deserve credit, man. It's
who?
City, yeah.
Oh no, 100%. But that's what I mean. Like City this year had more bragging rights just because they won.
Oh
the
my
league.
god! But the significance of that
Yeah.
goal.
Wow.
If you guys lost the league
Yeah,
from
yeah,
13 points and lost the
Yeah,
UCL in that
City
way,
almost slipped. City almost slipped.
that would have been very,
Yeah.
very.
So
But
then
yeah.
if City slipped and Liverpool won that, then there'd just be immediate chaos and Klopp won't be on my list.
No, but didn't Gerrard slip twice? Because
Oh my
Villa
God.
was 2-0.
He
brought up Coutinho.
Cut that.
He brought up Coutinho. He brought on the defensive player, and then they lost 3-2.
Yeah, but the continued sub was like
yeah, it was
sus.
he
It was
was
so sus.
he was a great outlet. Like
Who was Gerrard really playing for? You never know.
We never
He
know,
slipped
man.
twice,
You
dude.
never know.
Under the table. Yeah.
But yeah, I think we got
I almost forgot how we ended up here. Yeah, we're on fraud managers, right?
we got our list. We got our list.
Gerrard, bro.
Should we run through our
Ooh,
entire list?
Gerrard is on there for next season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
next
think
season.
he's on there for next season.
Should we run through our entire list for goalkeepers? Nate, why don't you run us through our entire
wait,
list?
so who do we decide on for manager?
Rafa.
Rafa.
yeah.
Okay, what about
Agent
Hassan
Rafa.
Hutel? I think Southampton have like gotten worse.
But they
No.
I mean, okay, they're always bad, right? Is that the thing you're gonna say?
I back Southampton because they have a board change. I
yeah,
just
and they
saw
don't
their
have money, dude.
I just saw their
Yeah.
recent project change is about supporting youngsters. So they just bought 14 mil. Or,
They-
Yeah, they bought two players
Romeo
actually.
Lavia,
one from
right?
City.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Romeo
yeah.
Lavia and
So
They're
I
very
think-
highly rated.
I think they're
Yeah.
just promoting.
I don't know, man. I just I expect them to like
I mean-
at least show signs of improvement.
so
but
Sash has
I think
every time they take one step forward,
Yeah.
they're going like 2 or 3 steps back.
Sash has
I
Bunny
think
as
you
their
could put Hassan Hutel and Gerrard in the same
Bracket.
bubble.
But
Bracket.
Hassan Hutel's
Is
been a
Lampard in
manager
there
for
as
so
well?
much longer. Yeah.
No, so like to
Yeah,
me,
I
like
don't know.
Southampton just
Not
have,
my hill
like,
to die
board-
on.
board scripts like issue. So I'm gonna put I would put Hassan Hutel in as well with Lampard and Gerrard.
Nah, I think Lampard too short.
man.
I don't know. Like depending on what Everton does, now that they saw
Dude,
Richard
Lampard
Lisson.
is like the low-hanging fruit of managers.
I don't know.
man.
Now that they saw Richard Lisson, I want to
Nah,
see.
he kept Everton
what-
up, dude. Tough, what a tough job, man.
Yeah.
He saved them,
Chelsea
bro.
gave him like 3 points.
Okay, shall we just go
Let's wrap our
Nuno or
front
Rafa?
Rafa, man.
I was gonna
Rafa,
say
yes,
we needed
Rafa.
to pick someone who lasted the whole season, but
Rafa, dude.
yeah,
like,
I'll
like-
put Rafa, but I appreciate.
was he even a manager? He was a secret agent, dude. Like,
yeah,
there's
I appreciate what
nothing
Rafa
he
did.
did justified as
Rafa back
himself
like
as a manager.
yeah, you never walk alone. He stand by
Yeah,
that
dude,
shop.
like-
And,
he has like a Liverpool tattoo on
Yeah,
his
yeah.
ass or something.
yeah, you never know that. Then.
He flashes at Luka Dean.
yeah. Gotta be Rafa.
I'm just gonna put Rafa for the memes. Like Rafa or Nuno, I have no idea, but like Rafa for the memes.
Wait, so let's refresh our
goalkeeper. Let's
viewers.
run us through the list.
Bachmann, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
So it's Bachmann as the goalkeeper. Then the right back is Emerson
My
Royale.
guy.
Left back is Junior Firpo.
Okay.
Centre back is Rafa Varane. And his partner is Soyuncu. Special mention to Maguire, but there's just too many
The only
United
guy
players in
with
this.
Social, man.
DM is Alan.
Alan, right? Yeah.
CM is Joe Willock. And attacking midfielder is unfortunately Bruno Fernandes.
Do we have any special mentions for the
Special mentions for
like Delhi, right?
for CM is Dele Alli,
Yeah.
Alright.
Jorginho, and Poggers.
I like that Jorginho shout.
DM as
And the
well.
non-
Special shout out is to Saul
Yeah.
Alright,
for
right.
frauding
And
his way
then
through, and then frauding his way out of the fraud
fantastic.
squad.
You mean he's nothing fancy?
All right. Now our attackers. Left wing is Marcus Rashford. Right
keep on
wing
coming.
is Sancho. This just sounds like a United lineup to me.
I feel annoyed that Badea and like Bailey didn't make the list, but
Yeah, I think
I
I think
mean-
Bailey, if he wasn't
we
so
can
injured.
put them on the side to
Yeah,
side
sure,
comparison.
sure.
Jackie G didn't make the list as well.
Yeah, I mean,
But you know, you win some, you lose some.
yeah,
And the one that is a unanimous
yeah.
call is Buff Kaku.
Buff Kaku, man. Gotta have him.
Lukaku.
La
And
Kaka.
manager,
We
have-
almost had Pop Kaku 69. So
And-
close.
And for manager, we have obviously
Rafa
Rafa
Benitez.
Benitez.
Agent
My
Rafa.
guy.
All
Actually, you're right. Looking
but-
back, so much of the stuff he did made zero sense.
But I'm just going to shout out one
Rondon.
more fraud of the absolute season.
Oh.
It's going to be Burnley's board still for sacking
Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche. Yeah,
Mm.
that is complete trash. Like for letting a manager go and then
And I think it also added to the fact that Newcastle bought Chris Wood.
it's just
That kind of
it's just
double
piled on
whammy.
the issues that
Yeah.
it was Sean
They were-
Dyche
they were
issue.
doomed,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they kind of showed glimpses of maybe making it, but like
I
it
just
was
want
ultimately too.
I
a
just
bridge
want
too
to
far.
place like Burnley on it.
Mm.
The board or whoever who made the
That's
call,
a good
like,
shout.
yeah, on that
Way
list,
better
like,
than Klopp.
Yeah, I mean,
Never forgive me for that.
No, I think one more last
Next season-
one more last special shout, right? I think we are all forgetting is Rangnick. To me, right?
Oh, bro.
No, wait, hold on.
Rangnick
No,
is
to
like-
me, right? I think
It's actually Rangnick.
Yeah,
Like,
Rangnick,
you
right?
I rang my
Okay.
friend Nick.
No,
Wait,
so-
I want to
yeah.
give a like
no, so you know, for Wreck-It Ralph, right? I think for him, he has like he has like the best. If someone told me what is my dream job, right, in the world, it would be to do what Rangnick did, to manage United, call the players out, call them that they are shite, and then after that, just leave the club.
Yeah, just
Like,
fuck off, right?
and
Yeah, my
apparently
dream
his
job.
stats, right, based on like points per game, is worse than Ole. And everyone took a crap
His
on
win
Ole.
percentage is
Yeah.
No, so
47%.
hear me out. I just saw when we were doing this podcast, right? I took a snippet on Instagram, and apparently with this whole Ronaldo and Chelsea saga, right? Or Ronaldo, whatever saga, apparently Ralph actually called to sell Ronaldo out. And like none of the board listened, but now in the July-June summer window transfer, Ronaldo wants to back out.
Mm.
So technically your consultant actually did the job and called the
I mean,
rights.
the board are jokes lah. They brought Rangnick in with like he'll be an interim for half a year, and then they would bring him up, like he'll move him up to the
Yeah,
consultant
yeah,
level,
yeah.
and then like he would help out. He'll help Ten Hag with like the transfers and all that, and then like they sacked him because he was too transparent.
Yeah.
They didn't sack him, what?
No, he
No,
left. He took the
he
job.
just didn't
No, like,
resign for the.
The media reported it as mutual consent. But,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
it's
I
just-
would to a certain
yeah,
extent
yeah.
agree that it's mutual consent. I'm pretty sure like he realized how much
like, he
of a
failed
shit
his
show.
probation period.
Yeah,
basically.
definitely.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, man.
interesting how it develops. Like
Yeah.
we should have a pogumentary for it.
Wait, yeah. So why is it called Pogmentary and not Pogumentary?
I love how we segue to this.
Yeah, like why? It makes more sense if you
I
call it
don't know,
No,
man.
do you know why it's
I
not?
mean, if anything I did, it should be called Poggram.
No, do you know why it's not called Pogumentary?
No,
because
why?
because for Pogba there's no U, it's just I.
Oh, snap!
Damn.
And that's the tagline of the documentary.
You remember?
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, I should just thought it was a team, but no, that was way better.
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah.
That being said, gotta wrap up already.
Yeah, we gotta
but
wrap up.
This was thoroughly enjoyable. Went on some interesting segues, but that's a very FKB thing to do.
Yeah.
Want to thank Nate once again for setting this up. Really, really pumped to have done this. Thanks again to Nothing Fancy for renting us this wonderful space. And for all the listeners,
And yeah, we can't forget Zhi Yang as well.
Yeah,
who's
Zhi Yang as
man-
well.
managing
Shout
the
out,
sound.
man.
Yeah, you guys can't see him.
grinning,
but,
he's
yes,
grinning from ear to ear.
Mm.
Yeah. You have to listen to our trash talk.
Yeah, but super glad we'll be able to share this with you all on YouTube. And for those listening to audio only on Spotify, what are you doing? This
Check
is the
us
one
out.
episode I would say not to listen on Spotify and just go directly to YouTube. But
The
hey,
YouTubes.
you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, future apps, we might have a couple more now that the season's wrapped. But for all intents and purposes, we can start looking ahead to season 3 of FKB. I'm sure Lionel's gonna be back on very often.
That's right, man.
Beaks, hopefully he's here, but he
Yeah.
might be, you know.
Yeah.
Transfer
Might have-
out.
Yeah, he might be
But
going to a different branch.
We might have a Newcastle transfer in.
Oh,
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
no, he's just gonna buy it. He's gonna buy the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah. He might buy the whole pot.
Yeah, but I'm super glad that everyone was able to come down for this special episode. And yeah, to all the listeners, please share this with all your friends and stick around for more content coming up in future episodes.
yeah. Do follow us on Instagram at is it the Full Kit Banter?
Oh man,
I know
do
Paul,
you
I'm
know
like,
how
oh,
much?
Cut that. But yeah, follow us on IG, the Full Kit Banter. Damn it, Sash. But yeah, bye everyone.